Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As this afternoon's the final game in Utah Grizzlies history as the Grizz take on the Rapid City Rush. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's the 2,242nd and final regular season game in Utah Grizzlies history. Utah is 1,052, 933, and 256 over a 31-season stretch. The first game in Denver Grizzlies history, the franchise began in Denver in the fall of 1994, and the first game was on October 1st, 1994, as the Grizzlies defeated the Minnesota Moose 4-1. On August 5th of 1995, the champion Denver Grizzlies, who won the ECHL, they had moving trucks pull out of McNichols Arena, and on August 7th of 1995, the Grizzlies opened for business inside Delta Center and began a ticket sales drive just 60 days before the home opener. The Utah Grizzlies' first game was on the road, ironically enough, in Phoenix, where the Grizz won 6-5 in a shootout. The Grizzlies' home opener at Delta Center was on October 6, 1995 against the Peoria Rivermen, a game Utah won 4-2. The Grizzlies were champions in their first season in the Salt Lake Valley. They swept the Orlando Solar Bears 4 straight games in the Turner Cup Finals. And in Game 4, Grizzlies fans set a single-game minor league attendance record of 17,381. So the Grizzlies, in their first 2 years of existence, one in Denver and one here in the Salt Lake Valley, were back-to-back champions. The Grizzlies were perennial winners in their 6 seasons in the International Hockey League. Their first 4 years, they were led by Butch Goring, who really was a great ambassador for pro hockey now in the state of Utah, great ambassador of the Grizzlies here in his 4 years in Utah. He was also the coach of the Denver Grizzlies. So we had 5 total seasons as head coach of the Grizz. And then Bob Bourne was the head coach for the final 2 years of the IHL era. When the International Hockey League folded in 2001, the Grizzlies moved to the American Hockey League, where they played 4 seasons. The top scorer for the Grizzlies in their AHL days is current St. Louis Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, who had 139 points in his stay with the Grizzlies, 50 goals and 89 assists. Longtime NHL goaltender Mike Smith was also in the AHL era, as well as Trevor Daley. And Jared Scaldi was a big fan favorite for the Grizzlies at that time. And then the Grizzlies left the American Hockey League. They bought a club in the ECHL and moved them to the Salt Lake Valley. And through today, that's where the Grizzlies have been ever since. The first 5 years of the Grizzlies ECHL era was dominated by the all-time leading scorer, Ryan Kanaswich. The 2007-08 Grizzlies went to the Western Conference Finals. The first 3 years the Grizzlies were in the ECHL. They were led by current ECHL Hall of Famer Jason Christie, who was inducted into the League Hall of Fame earlier this season. Kevin Cawley was the Grizzlies head coach for 5 years. He's a former New York Islanders player, and he had some memorable moments, including an ejection where he threw dozens of sticks onto the Maverick Center ice. Tim Branham is the winningest head coach in Grizzlies history. He followed Kevin Cawley in the summer of 2013. Branham had 284 wins in 8 seasons with the Grizzlies. He left to become an assistant coach with the Colorado Eagles in the fall of 2021, and he was replaced by Grizzlies all-time leading scorer Ryan Kanaswich. And the 2021-22 season, which was Kanaswich's first, it turned out to be a very memorable one, as the Grizzlies got 7 shutouts from Trent Miner. Charles Edward Dastu put together a legendary postseason run where he had 19 playoff goals, which set a new league record. Ben Tardif assisted on 13 of those 19 goals. Grizzlies also had an emergency starter game in Rapid City where they won 4-3. They led the league that year in shorthanded goals, and they were an amazing club to watch. And Kanaswich had 4 great years as Utah Grizzlies head coach, winning 133 games. This year, the Grizzlies have battled a ton of injuries. They've gone through 60 different players, but they are peaking right here towards the end of the season as they have won 6 in a row, and they look to make it 7 in a row for the first time since May of 2021. John Buchanan took over the reins this season, and he's done an outstanding job as Grizzlies head coach. He's got ties back in the WHL with Don Hay, who was a former Grizzly head coach in the AHL era. There's a lot of emotions, and we're going to try to smile as much as we can because we're not going to smile. We're probably going to tear up. We've already done that today, and it looks like we got a great Sunday crowd here. It's a little bit of a combination of excitement, and there's a lot of people that are kind of walking around, and they're not necessarily happy. There's all these memories that are flooding in, and for all of us, what are we going to do this upcoming fall? Really, what are we going to do next week, next month? It's going to be tough not having Utah Grizzlies hockey around, and I'm going to try not to think about it much because I'm going to start tearing up. But as we see one fan after another coming in and into the building, and it's just, you talk about a great run. That's lasted 31 years from here in the Salt Lake Valley of Utah Grizzlies hockey. 6 years in the International Hockey League, 4 in the American Hockey League, and then 21 years here in the ECHL. We do have one final game, and the Grizzlies are looking for their 7th straight win. Last night, they won a thrilling 2-1 overtime game over the Rapid City Rush, where Marek Hajduk, the son of former Colorado Avalanche legend Milan Hajduk, scored the game winner on a rebound from a Luke Manning shot. And as we're watching on Flow Sports, there's one photo after another, as Grizzlies hockey has just provided so many memories over the years, and it's just been one of those things watching on Flow Sports. There's the game winner with Hajduk as Manning took the shot. Luke Manning's been an amazing team leader for the last 2 years, and Marek Hajduk's going to be an outstanding pro for many years to come. So obviously we're going to tell a ton of stories here this afternoon, and we're also going to have a hockey game. The Grizzlies have been a winning club for the majority of their seasons in this league. With a victory, they will go just one game below 500, and considering all the injuries they've had, it's quite a miracle that the Grizzlies were able to put together a competitive club. 15 of the 20 years in the ECHL era, the Grizzlies were in the postseason. Utah, in their ECHL era, has had a .524 winning percentage. 6th and final meeting this season between the Grizzlies and the Rush. Utah has played good hockey against Rapid City over the years. Utah is 66, 41, and 14 all-time against Rapid City. Some of the things we'll remember most about this year is Danny Genev. He's the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award, and he'll be the first Grizzly to win that honor since Matthew Boucher got the honor from the 2020-21 season. When we come back, we'll kind of put a bow on this year's club, as there's been a lot of amazing performers, most of them first-year pros who are going to have bright futures either in this league or overseas, or hopefully next year in the American Hockey League. We're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and if you're in the West Valley area, you're going to want to make sure to be here for this one, as we are celebrating 3 decades of pro hockey here in the Salt Lake Valley with the Utah Grizzlies. And if you go back to the Salt Lake Golden Eagles era, you're talking about over 55 years of hockey here in the Salt Lake Valley. We'll come back and recap a lot of what happened this season. There was a lot of great moments to the 2025-26 club. We're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West, or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. And we're not going to cry. We're not going to cry. Although it is certainly tough for everybody that's been here for a long time.
The Maverick Center would like to remind all guests in attendance to please be aware that pucks, hockey Come back in 1 minute and recap what's happened this year. It's Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
All right, let's have a good time here this evening as we remember Utah Grizzlies hockey. Well, this year's certainly been an interesting one. Danny Genev leads Utah with 20 multiple-point games this season. As I mentioned before, he's a favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award. He's tied for the league lead with 286 shots. He was amazing this year.
Welcome to the Maverick Center. Your safety is our #1 concern. In the event an evacuation of the Maverick Center becomes necessary.
We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Well, doggone it, Tim. I was doing good until I saw Randy Conley right before the game. He started crying. You know, he made me start crying.
I was doing fine. So Chris Hagan comes over and he starts doing the hug and talk. I'm like, dude, can we not just do that right now?
I got a feeling there's going to be a few tears being shed today. I was trying to get through the pregame report, couldn't even get through the second segment. I guess I was just thinking about Danny Genev and what he's meant to the Grizzlies all season long. You talk about a guy that is third in the league overall in points, and to think that Idaho pretty much just gave him up for nothing at the start of the season.
What a pickup. I mean, from start to finish, right? We were talking about this before in the pregame. Do we go ahead and unofficially give him the Rookie of the Year, which he's going to get anyway? So a well-deserved season, all that, the hard work, and you know, he's been the spark plug. If he's not scoring goals, the moves and the pressure that he can generate is just insane.
Bree Lepser's had an amazing year. It's his second solid season with Utah. He is fifth in the league with 31 goals. He's also he's fifth in shots on goal. He's tied for ninth in points. Bree Lepser's been outstanding this year.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's already 2 of our 4 Ironmen that have played every single game this year.
And as the Gruntle is out here at center ice, and they've got a nice video board where Grisby falls off a ladder trying to get onto a hot tub.
I think that was the attempt. I don't know if the execution was so good.
As the Gruntle is out, and they show the video, there's Kevin Cawley getting ejected from the game. I referenced that during the first segment. He had 5 good years as Grizzlies head coach, and you know, John Buchanan's really done a good job with this club this season, as the Grizzlies have had an outstanding lineage and heritage of coaches.
Right, and John Buchanan coming over from, if I'm not mistaken, NCDC.
Yeah.
So moving from juniors to ECHL with nothing in between, props to him and the job he's been able to do with the Ryan Kanaswich team. And and no prodding to Ryan, but almost more of a Kanashwich team than a Kanashwich team had.
Yeah. You think about the coaches. I mean, you think about Butch Goring, who is a great ambassador to the Grizzlies and really a great ambassador to pro hockey here in the state of Utah. He was here for 4 years. Bob Bourne, Don Hay was here. The original Arizona Coyotes head coach. A lot of great coaches. Tim Branham.
Yeah, just heard from Tim Branham the other night when they did his video tribute, and he sends his love and appreciation to our broadcast crew, and he's doing well up in Colorado. So the culture here is definitely develop and move on, not just with players but with coaches.
For all those texts I'm getting, I'm fine. I'm okay. We're just getting rid of it. I just, I ate an onion, I think, before the game. It's just
it's a springtime allergies, Tyson.
That's right.
Something's in the air.
Well, doggone it, Tim. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you first intermission.
Sounds good, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard, and since we won't roll through all our commercial breaks, let's just go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Rapid City Rush, they've got a record of 27, 35, 6-1. Rush are 13, 18-4 on the road this season. Nathan Torkey is going to get the start in net for the second straight game. This will be his 8th appearance this season. He's got a record of 1-3-2 with a 4.05 goals against average and 896 save percentage. Torkey is 5'10 and 180 pounds. Rico DiMatteo is the backup goaltender. Rapid City is going to start out with a forward line of former Grizzly Briley Wood, who has 9 goals and 22 assists in 68 games. Wood was one of 2 Grizzlies to appear in every regular season game last year. This year, the Grizzlies have 4. We'll talk about that during the first period. Ryan Chizowski's had an outstanding year for Rapid City. He has 29 goals and 18 assists in 62 games. And Quinn Olson, who has 16 goals and 30 assists in 58 games. So that's the starting forwards, Wood, Chizowski, and Olson. The starting defensive pairing. Can't believe I broke down the pregame report of all things. Bobby Russell is one of the starting defensemen. 5 goals and 17 assists in 59 games. He's going to be paired up with Eric Parker. He's a +2 in 52 games and has 2 goals and 6 assists. So the starting defensive pairing is Parker and Russell. And the starting forwards for Rapid City are Wood, Olson, and Chizowski. Now the Grizzlies are coming out of the Grunnel. I didn't know it was named the Grunnel, the big inflatable bear. They're in a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Utah's rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. That's at least on the lineup sheet. Josh Singer, who's normally a defenseman, is one of the forwards. We'll get the announcement of the starters from Chris Hagan, the public address announcer. See, I thought all the tears were gone from my eyes because me and him had a little bit of a crying session about 30 minutes ago. That's Grisby's at center ice. He's wearing number 95, and he's been one of the best mascots I've ever seen. Well, I'd love to see Grisby in a collaboration with Tusky at some point. Who knows? Maybe Grisby and Tusky can be the dynamic duo of the Salt Lake Valley. As Grisby waving the flag, and we'll get the announcement of the starters from Chris Hagan.
Starting lineup for your Grizzlies! Up first, as always, it's our MVP, the most valuable bear at center ice, Grisby! On defense, wearing number 5, Colby Ends. On defense, wearing number 20, Aiden Hanson Bukata. At forward and wearing number 16, Luke Manning. At forward and wearing number 23, Reed Lepster. At forward and wearing number 24, John Gillette. And in goal, number 35, Hunter Miska.
That's starters for the Grizzlies. Hunter Miska is getting the start in net. This will be his 16th appearance this season. He has a record of 7-5-2 with 1 shutout. Miska's got a .906 save percentage and 2.84 goals against average. Grizzlies actually had a shutout from 4 different goaltenders this season. The starting defensive pairing is Colby Enns and Aiden Hansen-Bukata, and 3 solid forwards get the start this evening. Luke Manning, along with Reed Lepster and John Gillette. And how about the night Gillette had on Friday, where he scored goals 12, 13, and 14 on the season. That's the top forward line, Gillette, Manning, and Lepster on John Buchanan's lineup sheet. Danny Geneva is going to be out there with Evan Friesen and Merrick Hayduk. Mikey Colella's out there with Riley Connors and Nicholas Nemo. And Ryan Taylor is going to be a forward, as well as Josh Singer. Taylor normally a forward, Josh Singer, and those two will roam around on the ice with a different center. Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Colby Enns are the starting D. Salem and Kempf, Boilard, Noel, and Gratner, the other defensemen. Now always stand for our colors, our national anthem.
Now, please rise if you haven't already and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Heather Jackman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Great night for hockey as 2 big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Rapid City Rush for the 6th and final time this season. It is the 2,242nd and final regular season game in Grizzlies history. 4 original Grizzlies are walking towards center ice. Jill Roberts, as well as Director of Merchandising Jeff Renier, Randy Main, and Ekram, as they're all on the ice right now. I was there a couple days ago dropping the puck, and they've got the same 2 guys, Ryan Wagner, the former Grizzly, as well as Luke Manning, who's been an amazing Grizzly over the last 2.5 years. So Jill, Jeff Renier, Randy Main, and Ekram is there at center ice. They've been around as long as the franchise has been in existence. In fact, Jeff Renier, before he came to Utah, he was doing merchandising for the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. He's got a better memory and really better memories of that Colorado Springs Sky Sox championship run in the Pacific Coast League because they did so against the Salt Lake Buzz. So we got, I guess, 5 originals if you count Grisby out there. Grisby, Jill Roberts, Jeff Renier, Randy Main, and Ekram. They're taking a picture at center ice. That's a picture I don't think anybody will forget. 4 great people there, and actually 5 if you count Grisby. Is Grisby a person or a bear? Is it a combination of the 2? Not really sure. Grisby's getting his flag at center ice. You know, we've already cried once today. I've already seen a lot of tears from around section 114, 113, everywhere around that and around here. And so we're just going to try to keep it together and have some fun here for one final hockey game, as the Grizzlies really are going out on a high note in terms of how they played during this final homestand. You know, Utah is 6-2 through 8 games of this 9-game homestand. They've won 6 in a row, and they're looking for their first 7-game winning streak since May of 2021. Referees tonight are John Lindner and Camden Fraser. The linesmen are Craig Peterson and Andrew Collins. Grizzlies are wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Rapid City is in a white jersey with black numbers and red trim. Hunter Miska is the goaltender for the Grizzlies. It's his 16th appearance. If he gets a win, he will lead the Grizzlies in victories with 8. Rapid City's Nathan Torkia was outstanding in last night's game. He stopped all but 2. And the first period goal the Grizzlies scored was on a penalty shot. We're underway for the Grizzlies' final hunt. As Colby ends. Throws a right wing pass north-south to the Lebster. Lebster chips it towards John Gillette, who swings and misses on the bouncing puck. Rapid City crosses center ice 2-on-2. Briley with the former Grizzly. Skates towards the right circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Miska. Rebound gets tapped towards the corner. As Hanson Bukata stops behind Miska's net. Now he'll tap it towards Gillette on the near wing boards. John Gillette keeps his head up. And he'll feed a blue line to blue line pass towards Lebster. Lebster over the line gets to Manning, right side. Manning trying to tap one out in front towards Lebster. They were teammates and juniors, and you can't see one without the other here in Utah. Rapid City will tap it off the boards, and taking its Hank Kempf, who missed last night's game. He's pretty much on like a rehab assignment type of deal that you mostly see in baseball, coming back from an injury. Grizzlies throw it in, and they make a line change as they switch up forwards. As out there on the ice is Hayduk, Friesen, and Genev. And the fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant for the first time today. Rapid City over the offensive line. Seth Fighton gets around Kempf. As Fighton gets it in deep, Luke Salem, the Los Angeles native, slides along the boards. He's had a solid year for the Grizzlies. He's a +9 in his last 19 games. Rush come back up with it as Chase Pauls zips it to center ice for Wagner. Tape the tape. Wagner over the offensive line, gets double teamed. He fires lefty shot, and that's kicked away by the skate of Salem. Grizzlies in the transition game as Salem gets out towards center ice, rush back defensively, left wing feed towards Marek Hayduk, last night's hero. Hayduk's in the left point, slides one across. Genev right side, tried to start the Friesen, and it kicked off a Rapid City skate, and it globes towards the left point. Hayduk has got 4 goals in his last 5 games. He'll drop it for Genev. High slot, lefty shot, and gets redirected and goes wide. Friesen was in the middle of the ice as he got knocked down. Friesen, 25 goals this season. He had 2 on Friday night. Centering pass from Dylan Gratton goes wide. Actually, it was picked off by Rapid City. They'll dump it all the way down, and they did so from their side of center ice, so the Rush get called for icing, and that stops play with 18:05 left in the first. Dylan Gratton's been a great addition to the Grizzlies. He leads the club with a +10 rating this year. Gratton in 18 games has 1 goal and 8 assists, and his brother Tyler Gratton is the Grizzlies captain this season. Tyler's out with a season-ending lower body injury. He was a great team leader for the Grizzlies this season. Manning will take the drives out there with Taylor and Josh Zinger. Zinger, normally a defenseman. He's acting as a forward today. So the Grizzlies essentially on paper are going with 10-8, but Zinger will be a forward this evening as Noel and Gratton are the defensive pairing. Rush have it deep in their own zone. Still 2 minutes in. Fans still filing in here on this final game of Grizzlies hockey. Noel gets it ahead towards Manning. Manning stops in the left point as he directs traffic and drops it for Noel. Noel, left circle. He looks for a second pass. Shot saved by Torkia. As looked like Noel tried to find Zinger out in front. Boy, that would have been a memory Zinger would have never forgotten, as it would have been his first pro goal. But Nathan Torkia, who was a star last night, as he saved 28 of 30. And Torkia made a few highlight-type saves that you'll probably see on the league saves of the week. And with that in mind, he gets the start for the second straight game. Manning will take the drive play to Air Force in St. Thomas. His first pro game was a memorable one. It was military night in March of 2024, where the Grizzlies overcame a 4-1 deficit by scoring 3 goals in 68 seconds left late in regulation. They got a power play that was drawn by Manning. Off the draw, Ryan Taylor fires towards the net, and it hits off the blocker of Torquay, and it flies out of play. The Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw with 17:33 left in the first. The overtime game winner that night was scored by Josh Wesley, and that was one of the great memories and moments of Grizzlies history. Fans still filing in here. We're just the start of things. Grab some chips and dip in a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Sunday with us. Rapid City off the glass. Puck hit the opposite center ice. Aiden Hansen-Bukata at the Utah line gets towards ends. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from high top section 114. Zinger backhands it in, but icing is called on Utah. So play stops at 17:18 left in the first. Brett Davis on the ice for Rapid City. He had a late first period goal last night. Pretty much a low scoring type of game. Mikey Clella, he's on the bench right now. He scored a penalty shot goal 12-19 into the first period. Then Davis, late in the first for Rapid City, scored a delayed penalty goal. Neither team scored in the second or third periods last night, as defense and goaltending was the name of the day, the name of the game. Grizzlies have been averaging 4 goals per game over the last month, though. Utah is a perfect 5-0 so far in the month of April. Grizzlies win the draw. Taylor slides it out to center ice. Taylor played 3 seasons at Clarkson University, and this year Taylor played at Robert Morris University. Right wing, lefty shot saved by Miska, and he holds on with 16:59 left in the first. Brian Taylor, a native of St. Louis, he's going to be a pretty good pro. He's got 2 assists in 7 games. Hunter Miska's in his 9th season as a pro. Didn't play the first half of the year. Then the Grizzlies were in a pinch needing a goaltender, and they signed Miska. And from game 1, he looked like he was in midseason form. Miska's got NHL games under his belt with Arizona and Colorado. Riley Connors will take the draw. He's had a solid first year. He was the league's rookie of the month in February. Connors, 17 goals and 10 assists in 42 games. He wins the faceoff cleanly. Grizzlies bouncing out to center ice near wing. As moving ahead is Parker to center ice, and throwing it in is Cole Timken, who got in a fight with Mathieu Boilar in the first period last night. Parker, right side, righty shot blocker saved by Miska. Connors taps it ahead to Nicholas Nemo. Nemo sweeps it backhand style towards Colella. Mikey falls down, and Rapid City picks it off. Parker spins along the boards. Miska off his stick as Nemo gets hit by Timken from behind. Left point. Rapid City fires to the right corner. Connors looks over both shoulders before he gets decked by Teddy Lagerbach. Lagerbach looks like he's going to be a physical one. He certainly has been this weekend. It's his first weekend as a pro, as he signed earlier this week. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Salem moves it out to center ice. Chase Paul's off his skate. He'll get it towards the right wing to Timken, or make that Olsen. It's tapped away by Salem. As Rapid City's Olsen, he'll solicit to the middle of the ice. Now Bradley Wood gets to the right wing. He'll float it forward towards Chizowski, and he looked like he tried to center it, and it ricocheted off the outside of the cage. Grizzlies in their own zone, as there's 15:45 and a moving clock. Still no score. Both teams have 2 shots. Manning bounces one towards Webster down the middle of the ice over to Gillette, who had the hat trick on Friday. Gillette takes over lefty shot. Glove saved by Torquia. And he will hold on with 15:36 left in the first. That's been a very productive forward line here over the last few weeks with Webster, Manning, and John Gillette. Fans still filing in here. This is, well, considering it's a Sunday, this has got to be the biggest Sunday crowd we've had in many, many years. Maybe you think back to a playoff game in the AHL era, or maybe a Sunday game in the AHL era where you'd have a crowd this big. Manning will take the draw, right circle. He wins it. Waller fires lefty shot. Stick saved by Torquay, and the puck flies out of play. So Utah's up to 4 shots. Grizzlies have outshot opponents in 6 of their last 7 games. During the video montage they played before the Grizzlies came out, the final clip was the game winner that was scored in the 1996 Turner Cup. That was really most famous for the Grizzlies breaking a minor singles game minor league attendance record. Game-winning goal was scored by Mark Rogers in overtime as the Grizzlies defeated the Orlando Solar Bears, who incidentally enough for a team in this league as well. As John Gillette looked to center, it's picked off as Utah was looking to get to Reed Webster. Colella throws it in. Puck wobbles outside like a tire. Fight and delivers some snow onto Hunter Miska and stops play as Hunter covers up. Wadler delivering a push to Rapid City. As looked like Hunter Miska got a bit of a snow shower from number 26, Seth Fighton. Good to have Brogan Houston here from the Deseret News, covers Utah Mammoth games. As you know, when you work in minor league hockey, you work many different roles. And so sometimes even in the middle of the game, you got to direct traffic a little bit. As Brogan Houston from the Deseret News does a great job covering the Utah Mammoth. He's here covering the final game as well as a few others. I talked with Fox 13 before the game. Off the draw, fight with a shot. The horn sounds right after the faceoff was won by Rapid City. Fight was throwing it to the net, and the horn sounds with 15:13 left in the first. Grizzlies are looking for their 1,053rd all-time regular season victory. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies missed the postseason for the 3rd straight year, but they've really been a perennial contender in the Mountain Division for many years. Grizzlies with 4 shots, Rapid City with 3. Draw one by Evan Friesen. Grizzlies have had a few games this homestand where they've had a huge advantage in the faceoff circle. Geneva will tap it off the boards, and the puck flies into the air as Rapid City has it back in their own zone. We played about 5 minutes, still no score. As Paul's out towards Wagner. Wagner lets it go deep into the Grizzlies zone. As Hanson Bukata with a hot pass towards Hayduk, tape to tape over to Genev. Genev racing after it deep in the rush zone. Every time Danny Genev gets the puck in the offensive zone, the fans, they know something great's going to happen. Genev chips it to the corner that was vacated. Ryan Wagner, he spins around Marek Hayduk, last night's hero. Friesen, he gets bounced by Wagner. Well, you take Ryan Wagner on your team any day. He was a Grizzly for half a season. And mostly spent some time in the AHL. It's his second year in Rapid City. Fighting down the middle of the ice, takes a righty shot. And he gets hooked from behind. Miska makes the save. The whistle blows. It looks like high sticking is going to be the call as one of the referees checks the face of Cameron Buell. Actually, I think that was actually Seth Fighting. They were checking the face off. So it's 2-minute high sticking penalty as Danny Genev will go to the box. For Danny, that's penalty minutes 21 and 22 on the season. As Fight was down the middle of the ice, looked like if he was able to get control of the puck, and Genev, the other number 26, just bopped him right in the face. And the call was made as Genev on the back check was just trying to lift the stick of Seth Fighton. Instead missed the stick and got the old kisser. High sticking's the call, 5:36 in. Rapid City's power play is 15.7% this year. Grizzlies penalty kills 80.6%. Grizzlies win the draw. Hank Kemp will saucer it all the way deep into the rush zone. As Connors, he collides with Clay Hannes. Hannes, a native of Minnesota, as Rapid City comes up with it. They race across center ice. Grizzlies were 5 for 5 on the penalty kill last night. Hank Kemp took it away and threw it back to center ice. Hannes will back it out into his own zone. We're 6 minutes in, still no score. The fans making a lot of noise. A lot of fatigued hockey players. Third game in less than 48 hours. Davis around the boards. Miska cuts it up behind his net. He'll throw it off the top of the glass. Puck up the ups to the right point. Hannes gets it towards Davis. Now to the corner. As Olsen feeds it to Hannes, who fakes to his left. Gets it to Olsen, who skates in the middle of the ice. Now he'll drive it back towards the right side. Now Hannes over towards Chizowski. He trying to get to the center of the ice for Olsen, who lost his balance. And Riley Connors clears it out at the end of his shift. As the Grizzlies will get 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill. We're halfway through Rapid City's first power play of the game. 13-18 on a moving clock first period. Still looking for the game's first goal. Riley Wood was one of 2 Grizzlies players to appear in every game this season. Puck off his stick, and it goes into the Grizzlies zone. Rapid City is offside. But you talk about 4 Grizzlies who are Iron Men. 4 players who have appeared in all 72 games this season. Danny Genev, Evan Friesen, John Gillette, and Reed Lepster have appeared in all 72 games this year. Last season, it was Mick Messner and Briley Wood who played in all 72. It's the second time in Grizzlies history where they have had 4 players appear in every game. In the IHL, they played an 82-game schedule. Neil Brady, Richard Park, Sean Teller, and Darcy Waranka played in all 82 games. That's the only other time the Grizzlies had 4 or more appear in every game this season. Lepster gets towards Hanson Bukatu, guides it towards Manning. Manning stops in the right point, gets it across to Lepster. Lepster, he's over in the left wing. Grizzlies still shorthanded for the next 15 seconds. He'll slide it up top to Manning, who will reverse the puck back to the Utah blue line. Colby Enns will sail it all the way deep into the rush zone. As Danny Genev is standing, he wants to communicate with the bench as to what's to do when he comes out of the box. As Grizzlies take it away, Gillette over the offensive line, loses it in the left point. Genev will race to the bench. Successful penalty kill by the Grizzlies. They're at about a 92% penalty kill clip over the last couple months. They've been one of the best PK units in the league as of late. And they have really ranked up there to where they're now in the top half of the league on the PK. Gillette's got the puck. He skates along the bench area, right wing, steps over the offensive line. Toe drag, he'll take a lefty shot. Blocker saved by Torquia. Rebound goes to Rapid City. Rush will throw it off as Zinger, as Timken will drop it as Rapid City crosses center ice. As Will Portocalis, wearing number 44, guides himself towards left point, fires lefty shot, glove saved by Miska. 11:45 left in the first period. Still no score. Grizzlies with 5 shots. Rapid City's taken 4. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
A lot of fun stuff happening here at Maverick Center during the last time out. They had a message on the video board from former Grizzly Aaron Aragon, who was a fan favorite here for 2 seasons, as he talked about some of his great memories here at Maverick Center. Grizzlies have had a pretty good heritage of coaches, dating all the way back to the first coach in team history, Butch Goring. And some fans enjoy a beverage of their choice very, very quickly. I don't know if I spent that much on a beer. I'd probably want to take my time and enjoy it a little bit. That's Scott Hamilton. He not only does that at Grizzlies games, but I saw him do that on the video board at Delta Center this past Thursday. Looks like he's wearing Danny Geneve's All-Star jersey. As Rapid City wins the draw, I got to get my brother the Danny Geneve jersey I got earlier today. Rapid City centers it. Shot saved by Miska, and he holds on. And it looked like Andrew Noel had a rush player in a headlock. And it looks like the linesmen are trying to break free. Boy, Seth Whiting looks like he's in a fighting mode. He's been very active between whistles, as well as delivering some hits during the course of play. Seth Whiting is 6'2" and 200 pounds, and he got after it with Andrew Noel. As Noel doing a good job protecting his goaltender. And boy, the defensive pairing of Matthew Waller and Andrew Noel have really done a great job providing energy and spark to the Grizzlies. And there's really no question as to why those two have been strong performers over the last month. Waller's been in 6 fights, and he's won all of them. And for Andrew Noel, he is a +6 in his last 8 games. Noel is actually second among all-league rookies in penalty minutes with 106. Draw one by Utah as Connors takes a spill and make that Friesen. Friesen's out there with Hayduk and Geneve. Noel will throw it in as Rapid City taps it back towards the right side as Fighton couldn't get the puck as it was bouncing over his stick. Friesen over the line left side as he gets thrown to the boards by Chase Paul. Geneve looks to center to Hayduk, and it's picked up by Maurizio Colella, who scored 2 goals for Rapid City on Friday. No relation to the Grizzlies' Mikey Colella. Rapid City over the line. Fighton gets to the right side. Fires righty shot. Saved by Miska. Now the puck to the middle of the ice. As Hannes. He fires lefty shot. Saved by Miska. And after the whistle, Colella and Noel push each other around. Noel drags Colella by the jersey. As looks like Noel is trying to test the durability of the jersey. Now Wagner and Poilar get after it. We talked about the spark between whistles and during the course of play of Noel and Poilar. And there it is right there. Noel got after it with the rush skater, Colella, and then Ryan Wagner took it up with Poilar. 11:04 left in the first period. The two Poilars, the name is Chewy, sporting a mustache, and he's become a fan favorite over the last couple months. As Noel just wanted to make sure nobody got near his goaltender. As Noel tests the durability out of the AK Athletic Knit jersey. It looks like the jersey's in pretty good shape. Props to Athletic Knit for putting together a durable jersey. I know there's some brands where if you tug on it once, it falls apart instantly. No NFL tearaway jerseys here on the Maverick Center ice this evening. Grizzlies cross center ice, Lebser down the middle, dangles back and forth, gets around one rush skater, stops in the corner. Still scoreless, 9 minutes in. Over to Kemp, right side is lefty shot is blocked by Chazowski, who's got 29 goals this year. Kemp gets it back, throws it towards the net. Lebster swung and missed. The puck got some air under it. As Manning behind Rapid City's net skates towards right corner, which is the far side. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the period. Manning right side, fires lefty shot, misses wide. Salem gets the rebound off the board. Shot saved by Torquia. Now the net gets dislodged, and that stops play with 10:27 left in the first. Like Grizzlies with some offensive zone time, and the two Lukes, Manning and Salem, each had a look on Nathan Torquia. Big crowd. I mean, it is easy to say. It's probably the biggest Sunday crowd that we've had here at Maverick Center in many, many years. Manning took the shot wide, and then Salem had a good look and chipped it off the shoulder of Torquia. And it looked like Manning was trying to get the backhand shot, and the net got dislodged. And so even if Manning would have collected that puck, play would have stopped before he was able to get a shot off. Rapid City with 7 shots, Grizzlies with 6. Draw one by Utah. Righty shot. That one misses as Nemo was looking for a second of the year. Nemo left wing. He fires the righty shot. That one misses wide. Stick side on Torquia as Grizzlies get it towards Connors in the right corner. Connors gets belted by Olsen, and Rapid City comes up with a puck. Fans take up a let's go Grizzlies chant. Mitchell Smith over the offensive line. He stops in the right point, and the Eagle Eye linesman said that the Rush were offside with 10:06 left in the first. $15 of the 20 skaters for the Grizzlies this evening are first-year pros, and that's been the case for most of this homestand. The only non-rookies are Luke Manning, Reed Lebster, Luke Salem, Matu Boilar, and Hunter Miska. In fact, Miska is the only player in uniform that is not a first or second-year pro. Everybody else is either a first or second-year pro. Hunter Miska is in his 9th season professionally. Draw just outside the Grizzlies line near dot one by Utah as Aiden Hansen-Buchanan slides one to Colby Enns, who's been a plus performer all year. And so get it across, goes past Nemo as Torquia plays behind his net wearing number 35. Nemo gets a good shoulder check from Ryan Wagner. Make that number 23, Eric Parker, who's a 6'2 defenseman. Over to Connors, right side, righty shot misses wide. Hansen-Buchanan gets back to Connors, who taps to Clella off his skate. As Rapid City's Bobby Russell will skate around his net. Clella shadowing him like a hawk. Smedsrud gets pushed to the corner by Grattan. Clella gets to Nemo. Nemo couldn't get a one-timer off as puck ended up off his skate. At center ice, Connors gets the puck and he'll skate back into his own zone. Connors now stops behind Miska's net and he'll tap it to Boilar. Matu Boilar has become a fan favorite, gets the Lebster left wing. Lebster at center ice, crosses the center red line, got it chipped by Buell. Lebster got it back. Buell and Lebster were teammates with the Grizzlies in the first half of last season. Lebster gets around Buell. Left wing fires a righty shot. Saved by Tarkia. And the rebound gets cleared towards the right wing. Now Utah centers to Taylor. His shot swung and missed as Chase Pauls was taking his time and space away. Lautenbach throws it in as Lautenbach gets there before Zinger. Teddy Lautenbach looks like he's going to be a good pro as he plays hard. He just joined the Rush earlier this week. Lautenbach and Grattan. Big time hit delivered by Zinger on Lautenbach. As Rapsy has in the high slot, Clay Hannes, he'll slide it towards left wing. Righty shot. Block, that's a save by the right pad of Miska. Now Hannes, right side lefty shot, kick saved by Miska. Now taken by Lautenbach, shot saved by Miska off his glove. And the puck stays in play. Grizzlies have it. Reed Lebster, he's the far corner, and he'll loop it ahead. Puck trickles at neutral ice as Lautenbach and Zinger spin each other around. Rapid City comes up with it. Grizzlies will hit the free refresh button and get 5 fresh skaters on the ice. On the third game in less than 48 hours. Who's really fresh out there? Rapid City gets hit by Kempf behind the net. Wagner in the right corner. He'll slide it towards a circle. Mitchell Smith off his stick. He'll get it to the middle of the ice. Rapid City, they'll take a lefty shot, and it's blocked by the stick of Hayduk, and it flies out of play with 7:56 left in the first. Good back and forth action between the Grizzlies and Rush. Rapid City still has 2 more games left in their regular season, as they will face the Tahoe Night Monsters in a 2-game set. And interestingly enough, Rapid City is 9-1-2 against Tahoe this year. Unfortunately for the Rush, their bugaboo is they went 0-6 against Tulsa. Friesen will take the draw against Maurizio Colella. Colella started the season in Denmark and rejoined the Rush. He had been a member of the Rush for the previous 2 seasons. So he's in his 3rd season with Rapid City. Colella's kicked out of the circle. He has no clue why. Ryan Wagner's not sure why as well. But Wagner reluctantly will take the draw. The fans hanging out in section 118. They've been fans for 15 years, and 15 great years they were. Rush rolled along to the right corner. Puck is taken by Danny Geneva, who gets it ahead to Hank Kempf. Kempf out to center ice. He'll nudge it ahead towards Hayduk, but it goes past him and all the way down for Utah icing as Kempf tried to get it ahead while he was at his side of center ice. Well, I feel ashamed of myself for breaking down in tears at the pregame report. I know Matt McConnell didn't start crying until Coyotes' last game a couple years ago. But, hey, that's the emotions of a game like this, as it really is a lot of crazy memories. You think to the Oakland A's and the memories of their fans after the A's left for Sacramento and eventually will end up in Vegas. And it's just tough. There's another professional hockey team who's going through the same thing, the Bridgeport Islanders. Off the draw high slot. One-timer by Smith, saved by Miska, as the Bridgeport Islanders are moving to Canada. And so I know a lot of those fans are feeling the same emotions that we're feeling here. And we like to thank which is a little bit of a bigger audience, not only on YouTube with our radio broadcasts, radio in quotation marks, of course, and then obviously we got a big number on Flow Sports this afternoon to see the final game in Grizzlies history. Utah wins the draw as Kemp rolls along the boards. We're still scoreless. 7.5 minutes left in the first period. Smith fires towards the net. It bounces off of Connor's glove. He tried to get to Genev. Ison's waved off as Genev gets the puck behind Rapid City's net. He gets it tapped away. Genev, the first-year pro out of Penn State. Idaho pretty much just gave him up before the season. He was Idaho's best player in the preseason. Genev splits a double team and draws a penalty as he gets dragged to the ice. Miska will skate towards the bench. Siring pass to Hayduk. Righty shot saved by Torquia. Puck still alive. Hanson Buchanan's got the blue line at his ankle. He shuffles his feet to his left. He fires lefty shot that misses wide. And the puck globes high into the air. And Rapid City touches it up. So there's 6:57 left in the first. Holding's going to be the call. And Utah will go on the power play. Last night, the Grizzlies got a penalty shot for the first time this season. As Mikey Colella not only drew the penalty shot, but scored a goal. Sean Strange, number 96. He gets his first penalty as a pro. It's his 5th game as Genev got behind him. And Strange, it's probably a good penalty to take as Genev would have had a grade A chance pretty much against him and Torquia. So Friesen will take the draw. He's out there with Manning, Lebster, Genev, and Hanson Bucata. What a year for both Hanson Bucata and Genev on the power play. AHB over towards Genev, who's got 23 power play points, 2 goals, and 21 assists. Trying to zip one across towards Manning. It goes past him, and the puck will go all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Webster runs it down, fakes to Hanson Bucata. He'll get it to the right side for Genev at the Rapid City line. Danny trying to get to Webster. Rapid City anticipated the play, got it, and throws it out to center ice. Good job by Quinn Olson, kind of anticipating the puck ended up to the right point. Grizzlies reset in their own zone as Webster gets a new try near the Grizzlies bench. Now he moves to his left. He's in the middle of the ice. He'll get to Friesen left wing. Friesen over the line, trying to get to Webster on the give and go. He's tapped away by Chase Pauls. Genev over in the right corner as he surveys. Now guided up top to Hanson Bucata. AHB moves it back to Genev just outside the right circle. Across off a Rapid City stick, and they'll clear it out. But Rapid City doing a good job anticipating where the puck's going to end up next, as they've gotten in the way of a few pucks here on this penalty kill. Rapid City throws it off the stick of Salem about waist high. Actually, Manning and Salem each have A's on their black sweaters. Ahead to Lebster at the Utah line. Lebster left wing. Now he spins around a couple times, gets towards Hanson Bucata. 5:44 on a moving clock here in the first period. Still no score. Rapid City's outshot Utah 10-7. Genev over the line. He'll zip it around the boards quickly. Manning collects it. Smedsrud closed the gap on him. Lebster gets up top to Hanson Bucata. AHB, 19 power play assists over to Genev. Back to Hanson Bucata. Over to Lebster down the middle of the ice. Fakes a shot. Gets around Smedsrud. Lebster's now in the corner. Loses control of the puck as Smith behind the net. He'll take it, and he'll fling it out. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Less than 20 seconds left in the power play. Hanson Bucata skates around Miska's net. Fakes it to Connors. AHB at the end of his shift gets it towards Connors, and AHB will come off as he's replaced by Noel. Connors over the offensive line. 5 seconds left in the power play. Both clubs have been really good on the penalty kill in this weekend series. Grattan over to Nemo to the middle of the ice for Colella. It's picked off. Rusher back at full strength. Out towards Strange. Off his stick. Miska gets it towards the near corner. As Utah off of Colella. Rapid City will brush it across. Noel looking for the loose puck. Connors and a rush skater drag each other to the ice. It's going to be another Utah power play. As Nemo over the offensive line, Chase Pauls takes it away. 4:33 is left in the first period, and Utah gets another power play. As interference is going to be the call. And so Utah 0-for-1 on the power play so far. They're looking to get on the board on the other side. Still no score. Rush have outshot the Grizzlies 10-7. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
4 minutes and 33 seconds are left in the first period. And as Seth Whiting gets an interference minor, so it's Utah's second power play of the first frame. As draw won by both teams, Josh Furby. Utah gets it. Salem across the knee, but one-timer misses wide. Hayduk loses his bounce. Olsen and Hayduk collide. As Rapid City behind their net, Bobby Russell. He will sail it all the way towards Miska, cuts it off in front of the near goal line. Miska throws it behind his net for Luke Salem. Salem's had an outstanding year for the Grizzlies. Gets to the right wing for Hayduk, who strides in. He stops in the right point. Now he accelerates around Olsen to the right corner. Hayduk around the boards to Connors. He's in the left point. Connors fakes to his left. Skates back along the near wing boards towards the corner. Now he stops. John Gillette in the area. Rapsy took it away. Now Salem gets it back, and he gets it towards Hayduk. He's on the right side. Back to Salem to the middle of the ice. Salem fires lefty shot that misses wide. Gillette over to Connors. He's just outside the left circle over to Salem. One-timer, glove saved by Torquia. And he will hold on with 3:43 left in the first. So Grizzlies will switch up skaters and get the five-man unit of Manning, Lepster, Friesen, Hanson Bukata, and Danny Genev. We mentioned the four Iron Men for the Grizzlies who have appeared in all 72 games. And 3 of the 4 are on the ice right now. Lepster, Friesen, Genev. John Gillette was on that other power play unit, as all 4 of them have been key contributors for the Grizzlies all season long. Utah's rolled through 60 players this season, 32 forwards, 19 defensemen, and 9 goaltenders, including victories by 8 different goaltenders and 4 different goalies registered a shutout this season. Hanson Bukata at center ice, drops for Lepster. Lepster to the middle of the ice, cross the center, and he'll chip it to his left. Friesen over the line, lays it for Hanson Bukata. As AHB gets it taken away. Boy, both penalty kill units have been pretty strong, both the Grizzlies and the Rush. Rapid City's doing a good job anticipating where the Grizzlies are going with the puck. Mauricio Colella throws behind his back, gets it back. As Colella and Hanson Bukata hold each other along the boards. As Friesen taps toward Genev. Grizzlies get to Lepster. 33 seconds left in the power play. Lepster drops it to Manning. He'll lay it for Genev on the right side. Genev skates towards the corner. As he stops, gets to Hanson Bukata. Over to Manning on the backhand as Manning retrieves it. And he'll get it towards Hanson Bukata. AHB across to Genev, just outside the right circle. He throws one out in front. Friesen fires lefty shot. Glove saved by Torquia. It looked like it ricocheted off the top of Torquia's glove. He was able to kind of play hacky sack with it and snatch it about waist high to hold on with 2:46 left in the first. So there's 13 seconds left in Utah's power play, as both teams will switch up skaters. A little bit of a changeup kind of fooled Torquia a little bit, but the Rapid City goaltender is pretty quick. Torquia had quite the night, stopping 28 of 30. He is 5'10", 185 pounds, but he's a pretty quick goaltender. Draw on the right side, taken by Zinger, and this time won by Rapid City. And they'll hoist it to neutral ice. We get a whistle. Puck was played with a high stick. And so the draw is going to be at neutral ice near the Rapid City bench. 2 first-year head coaches for their respective clubs. John Buchanan has won 30 games with Utah. And on the Rapid City side, it's Dave Smith, former IHL player. He actually played against both the Grizzlies and the Salt Lake Golden Eagles. He had a 6-year playing career, most of that coming in the International Hockey League. Smith had spent the last handful of years as head coach at RPI. The Rush are back at full strength. You know, I can't do the chant that the fans say after the opposing team comes out of the box. I used to do it as a fan coming to Grizzlies games. Can't really do it here in Section 114 on Press Row. Grizzlies enter offside with 2:22 left in the first. That's one of those memories. You come to your first Grizzlies game, and well, you got to remember every time you get a successful the other team gets a successful power play, you just got to belt it out once they come out of the box. Some of those fun things that just kind of come with being a Grizzlies fan and coming to a Grizzlies game. So, I'm not an outsider from somewhere around the country or even in Canada trying to teach the game of hockey. I'm a local product from the Salt Lake Valley. Went to Kearns High School and and grew up going to Grizzlies games over the years, and so many memories, not only here working for the team, but also a lot of memories over the years coming to games as a fan. Rapid City's got the puck in neutral ice. Mitchell Smith gets it towards the right side. It's overled for Sean Strange, and it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone as Kempf gets hit from behind by Briley Wood, the former Grizzlies second-year pro. He was teammates with Evan Friesen 2 years ago with the Wenatchee Wild. Rapid City over the line. Wood, left wing. He'll slide to the middle of the ice for Chizowski. It's taken, and Chizowski thought a rush teammate was behind him. Reed Lepster to the middle of the ice. 31 goals this season. Skates in righty shot. Saved by Torquia. And the Rapid City goaltender dives and extends his arm to cover up. Boy, Reed Lepster's been robbed many times over the last couple weeks. And he has gotten the job done in categories other than goal scoring. You know, Reed Lepster over his last 5 games is a +6, and he's got 5 assists in his last 4 games. Lepster just skated in, lefty shot, tried to go low, and Torquia made the stop. Lepster is one of 13 different Grizzlies players to have a 30-plus goal-scoring season. He's got 31 this year. Ryan Kanaswich holds the Grizzlies single-season goals record with 48. So Reed Lepster, if he gets 18 goals here today, can break that Ryan Kanaswich record. Centering pass, Ryan Wagner back in, shot, saved by Miska, and he will hold on. Wagner and Miska were teammates with the AHL's Colorado Eagles for a couple years. But Miska's been a strong presence. He played in a handful of games for the Grizzlies during the 2019-2020 season, but spent most of that year in the American Hockey League with Colorado, where he was a teammate with Ryan Wagner for part of that season. He had spent 3 different years with Colorado from 2019 through 2022. He even had 5 games of NHL experience with the Avalanche during the 2020-21 season. Last year, Miska played with Bridgeport of the AHL and Moscow of the KHL, and it is the Bridgeport Islanders who, like the Grizzlies, are in their final season before moving to other parts of the country. Or I think in Bridgeport's case, I think they're moving to Canada. As Utah taps it off the glass, John Gillette in particular, as Hayduk gets to the right wing for Colby Enns over the line. Enns had a solid rookie campaign. Right side is shot. It's blocked by the stick of Bobby Russell. We get a slash, and it's going to be another Rapid City penalty. As a minute 9's left in the first period, Colby Enns, he got slashed by, as he was skating towards the left corner. Enns flexes his stick to make sure it's not broken, but it's another Grizzlies power play, their third of this first period, and Bobby Russell can't believe it. It looked like a pretty easy call because you could hear Russell's stick kind of slamming the stick of Colby Enns, as the crowd was pretty quiet, just watching the action with just over a minute left in the first period. As Enns skated around Rapid City's net, and you heard the sound of the slash, and the referee, John Lindner in this case, was in the right place at the right time to make the call. So see if the third power play does the trick for Utah. Both penalty kills have been outstanding here this weekend series. Both Utah and Rapid City had a tough time generating something on the power play. Rapid City sails it all the way towards Miska. How much time's left in the first period, Chris Hagan?
1 minute remaining in the first period. 1 minute.
Thank you, Chris. It's Hanson Bukata. Strides out to neutral ice. Now he accelerates around Olsen. Now he slides the puck towards Genev, who gets it and crosses center ice. He'll move it to his right for Manning. Everybody's now over the line. Manning skips it across to Genev, who gets it off the boards. Now Lepster behind Rapid City's net. Gets to Genev. As Danny, he's in the left circle over to Lepster. Lepster surveys. Now he slides up top to Hanson Bukata. He directs it towards Genev. Danny Genev guides it towards Hanson Bukata, who trying to get to Friesen. Puck's tapped back by AHB. Cameron Buell's got the puck. He's got a breakaway. Buell skates down the middle of the ice, back in. Shot. Saved by Hanson Bukata. It might be a penalty shot if they call it. It is going to be a penalty shot. Cameron Buell skated on a breakaway. Hanson Bukata on the back check just tried to find a way to get to Cameron Buell. The puck is laying at the center dot. And for the second straight game, we're going to see a penalty shot. Grizzlies had one last night, and Cameron Buell, who has 19 goals this season, he's a former Grizzly, and he would love to get the rush on the board. So 22.7 seconds left. Penalty shot for Cameron Buell. He takes the puck, skates along the left wing. Now it's in the middle of the ice. Buell to his forehand, shot and a score. As he put together a beautiful move, he got Miska off balance and just kind of guided it past the right blocker of Hunter Miska. So for the second straight game, a skater is successful in his penalty shot. Mikey Colella for the Grizzlies yesterday, and today it's Cameron Buell getting his 20th goal of the season. As it was one-on-one, Buell got to the middle of the ice, and it was a very similar move up until the point. Backhand to forehand. Miska, just kind of dove out in front to maybe cut it off, and Cameron Buell put it away. Buell's penalty shot, 1937 into the first period. I think the Yankees might have won the World Series in 1937. I don't know. They won a lot. If you just say New York Yankees won the World Series, you're going to be right more times than not. I'm not sure if they won it in 37, though. That was 2 years before Lou Gehrig ended his baseball career. As Nemo, left side, fires a righty shot, saved by Torquia. That stops play with 2.5 seconds left in the first. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw as Riley Connors talks things over with Luke Salem. So right now the difference in the game is the penalty shot as Buell got behind Hans Mukata, and really for AHB just hope to find a way to catch up to him. But as we saw when Buell was a Grizzly last year, he's got pretty good speed. Connors will take the draw. Out there with Hayduk. There's actually 5 forwards on the ice for the Grizzlies on this shift. First time I've seen 5 forwards on the ice outside of 5 forwards and 1D. Connors threw it to the left point between his legs, but there was nobody there. So that will run out the rest of the clock here in the first period as the Rush have a 1-0 lead, and the difference in the game is the Cameron Buell penalty shot. So we go all season. We go the first 70 games without seeing a penalty shot on either the Grizzlies or the opposition. Now we've seen penalty shots in back-to-back games. Interestingly enough, league-wide, there's been 51 penalty shots taken, and only 15 of them have scored. 15 of 51 have been successful on the penalty shot. And by the way, we mentioned 1937, who won the World Series. It was the Yankees. Don't tell Tim Broussard, though, as he might get on me during the intermission. We'll come back and recap the first 20 minutes. There really isn't a whole lot there outside of the Buell goal. And Rapid City, they've had a ton of success. Really, the difference in the game is the successful penalty kills by Rapid City. Utah has had their chances. Rush outshot the Grizzlies 12-10 in the first period. Great to see Clint here for the Grizzlies' final game. We'll come back and talk some hockey. We'll also talk with Tim Broussard to get his thoughts on what he saw in the first 20 minutes. Big crowd here on a Sunday afternoon as the Grizzlies are in their final game, and they are looking for their 1,053rd regular season victory. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
After one period here at Maverick Center on this sunny Sunday afternoon, so Rapid City Rush 1 and the Utah Grizzlies nothing. The lone goal was scored on a penalty shot of all things. Cameron Buell on a penalty kill, and really what the Rush are doing on the penalty kills, they're really anticipating where the puck's going to end up, and they're doing a great job kind of anticipating what Utah is doing. Cameron Buell got it, and he skated around Hans Mukata, and got around him. Looked like Buell had a breakaway, and Hanson Buchanan just hooked him from behind. Buell went down, and the call was made for a penalty shot, and it was a good call by the referees. It's John Linder and Camden Fraser. There are two referees. I wasn't sure which one made the call, but Buell got the penalty shot, and kind of in a similar fashion as to what Mikey Klala did last night in the first period for Utah. He's kind of veered off to the left, then got to the middle of the ice. And it looked like Buell just kind of went to the backhand, got Misk off balance, then Misk kind of just fell forward, hoping to find a way to collect the puck, and Buell just got it past him. And it was a beautiful move by Cameron Buell. I really liked him when he was a Grizzly. He was a versatile guy. There was a couple games where he had to fill in and play as a defenseman. And so it's really not that much of a surprise to me that he's having the success he is with the Rapid City Rush this season. That's his 20th goal of the year. He's a second-year pro out of St. Lawrence University. Rapid City outshot Utah 12-10 in the first period. And we mentioned the difference in the game really is the Grizzlies' power play that hasn't gotten going. Watching on Flow Sports, there's the first period stats. 5 scoring chances of the 12 shots for Rapid City. Grizzlies have 6 scoring chances of their 10 shots. There's a crazy amount of face-offs in the first period, and the Grizzlies won that battle 19-12. And just to kind of illustrate the struggles on the power play, the Grizzlies in 2.5 power plays. They will be on the man advantage for the first 51 seconds of the second period. So in 4 minutes, and actually in current side math is failing me right now, 5 minutes and 9 seconds worth of power play time for the Grizzlies, and they've only had 2 power play shots. And so they're having a tough time getting a good look on the man advantage, but, credit Rapid City. They're doing a good job on the PK. We'll see if Utah can get it done in the first minute of the second period on a power play. Rapid City had 6 hits in the first period. Grizzlies had 4. Quite a few giveaways. You almost expect that in the third game in less than 48 hours. Rapid City has 6, and the Grizzlies have 5. Utah's had some memorable moments this season. I kind of think back to a few Sundays ago when Danny Genev scored the game winner with 10.5 seconds left. Teddy Bear Toss night was certainly a fun one as they beat the Atlanta Gladiators 4-0. It was certainly awesome to see Guy Carenza make the trip, and it was great to see the Atlanta Gladiators, led by team president Jared Youngman. They're postseason bound, and I guess Atlanta, based on Jared and Guy, will be a team we'll be rooting on during the 2026 Kelly Cup playoffs. Guy is finishing up his first season as the voice of the Atlanta Gladiators. He was with us for a couple years, including my main right-hand man for the 2022-23 season, and he's certainly going some places. I guess 10 years from now, I might be begging Guy Carenza for a job. In fact, I might be begging him for a job about 10 days from now. That's the tough thing. I think that's part of why I got so emotional during the pregame report, is that I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen here the next 6 months. I don't want to think about it now because I'll probably cry again, because I really don't know what I'm going to do. The Grizzlies have been home for me for 8 years, and I don't have anything lined up for when this thing's over, when today's over. That's part of what's making this day so tough. And I don't even know if it's really going to hit until October. So now we got a fight because the Lady Grizzlies are out there skating during the intermission. Now they're going to fight. So I think it's the third straight game we've had fights on ice, and we've had a fight at neutral ice. And so they're getting after it pretty good. And Grisby's trying to break it up. I got to imagine Grisby at some point is going to get a fighting major of his own, as yesterday the Rapid City mascot Nugget was in town, and he was celebrating the occasion with Fan Appreciation Night with Grisby. We're having a good time here at Maverick Center. This is by far the biggest Sunday crowd we have seen in at least a decade. As the Zambonis come on the ice, and it really might not hit until October, about the time when you get to the next hockey season, as after all, at the end of the year, it kind of is very similar in some respects to the end of a normal season. And it won't really hit until the next year when you realize, oh, wait, there isn't a next year. And that's when it starts to hit home that this really is it. And we've known this state was going to be here for quite some time, as we knew as soon as last summer that this was going to be the Utah Grizzlies' final hunt. And with that, we've had a lot of memories. We've had a lot of players come through. 60 players have appeared in the game for the Grizzlies this season. To put that in perspective, 29 players have appeared in the game for the Utah Mammoth all season. And that includes the 2 goaltenders, 27 skaters, 2 goaltenders, 29 players. The postseason-bound Utah Mammoth have used, and the Grizzlies have used more than twice the amount of players And over the course of the next few years, I'm really excited to see the progress of Danny Genev, Evan Friesen, Riley Connors, Reed Webster, John Gillette. I mean, we could just name everybody on the roster. I'm really interested in seeing where they end up. Hank Kempf, who's on an AHL contract with Colorado, looks like he's got a ton of skill and potential. And I really want to see where Aiden Hansen-Bukata ends up next year, as he has 40 assists on the season. He's been one of the best rookie defensemen in the league, and he might be a candidate for the all-rookie team. And that should be announced here within the next couple of weeks. Danny Genev obviously is the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award. And who knows, maybe Evan Friesen can find his way on the all-rookie team as well. There's a lot of great first-year pros across the league. When we come back to the Grizzlies intermission report, we'll talk with Tim Broussard to get his thoughts on what he saw in the first 20 minutes. For me, the difference was Rapid City's penalty kill, just kind of stifling the Grizzlies. Utah with 2 power play shots in 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Rapid City leads 1-0 on Cameron Buell's penalty shot late in the first period. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
DJ Giletto has a message for the crowd. This is one of the most fun videos I've ever seen. He's got 2 goats. Is that Park? I don't know where he is. He must be in Park City. Look, he's got 2 goats in front of him. He's got long hair. He's got long hair, a couple necklaces. That is a beauty. That is of all the videos they've shown, there's been some great ones. That is certainly something. He's petting his goats.
I mean, look at the backdrop. Is that not majestic?
That's got to be somewhere from Park City or somewhere like that. And I mean, he did sport a goatee in his time as a Grizzly. Dave Fox from Channel 2.
How about that?
Feel bad they couldn't get him any free tickets yesterday. I think there's even one from Ian Furness, former voice of the Utah Grizzlies. He was somebody I listened to on, I believe it might have been either been 1320 KFan or ESPN 1230.
Seattle Kraken now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's certainly great to see him in the National Hockey League because he was quite a talent. I remember listening to his radio show for a few years. Adrian Denny, obviously, for 13 years. And I think between Furness and Adrian Denny was Bob Hoffman, who's done some front office stuff with the Tucson Roadrunners for many years.
Dang, okay.
So it's pretty decent company that I'm involved in right there. For me, the difference in the first period, and it's probably the same for you, was the Grizzlies' inability to generate something on the power play. And it really looks like Rapid City's doing an outstanding job anticipating where the puck's going to end up, and they just kind of are jumping at the opportunities.
Exactly what I had. The pressure that they're generating from a 2-man forecheck, and even on their penalty kill, that they were generating more offense than we did, obviously, and then they converted on it. So up until that point, I had notes that, Grizzlies are doing well on passing, is a little bit improved, but then it just kind of went downhill from there, and Rapid City's just capitalizing on the chances, not necessarily just the penalty shot, but generating offense from that forecheck that's coming in.
Outside of the penalty shot, and you got to credit Cameron Buell for a pretty good move on Miska. Looks like Hunter Miska's played outstanding so far.
Hunter Miska is seeing the puck. He's seeing everything there, but that move by Buell, forehand, backhand, forehand again, and just made Miska bite. All he could do was flop forward and try to do his best. By that time, on Buell's forehand, lefty, and he just taps it in.
And as I had mentioned earlier, I'm really not that surprised at the year Cameron Buell's had. He has 20 goals. He was a very versatile guy for the Grizzlies that I thought showed a lot of promise. Unfortunately, they went on a long losing streak, and I think Buell is kind of one of the scapegoats and got released, was picked up by Savannah, and I really think he's a talented player.
Yeah, you were mentioning a 2-way, playing both offense and defense as needed. And for those that don't know, that's not an automatic skill set. You're not just a player. You typically specialize, sometimes even into a particular position, like lefty, righty, wing, whatever, especially center. but to be able to flip-flop, and have effective impact on the play, being offense and defense, that takes significant skill set.
Kind of reminds me, maybe similar to what he's done for Rapid City Buell, that is as to what John Gillette does for the Grizzlies. Just a blue-collar glue guy who blocks shots, and he's one of 4 players who have appeared in every game this season. He had the hat trick on Friday. John Gillette's just been that kind of guy all year long, and he's going to carve out a good, long career as long as he probably wants, because of his ability to just do so many different things on the ice and impact the game in ways, whether it's scoring goals or delivering a good pass, or even it's just playing hard every shift. John Gillette has been solid game in and game out for Utah.
And you need those Swiss Army knife players, because you don't know especially between month to month during the season, what your needs are going to be. Being able to shop versus choose, like we were talking about earlier, what kind of player do I need? Well, I've got 3 or 4 role players that can come in and play a stay-at-home D or roving D, or I've got somebody I can throw up on a defensive wing, and being able to fill those roles is really important.
Anything else stand out to you in the first period?
Yeah, I want to mention the one of my favorite calls you ever had against Rapid City was the Brian Saulnier fighting penalty down.
I feel bad about it. I think Rapid City fans got offended about it.
that was one of my favorites. I won't recollect the whole thing, but that was one of my favorites. And then the other one was the flag burning issue. You knew that one was coming.
Grisby burned his flag before the game, and then after the game, we're laughing hysterically trying to remember that occasion. That was the same game where Cam Levy in the Grizzlies office bought a $300 painting of a baseball player he never even knew.
The whole thing was set for failure, but to have Grisby come out, catch the flag on fire, and you and I looking at each other like, okay, we got to go to commercial break because we're busting up.
Brendan Saulnier, to just kind of complete the story Tim was talking about, he was kind of an emotional player for Rapid City, and he got a penalty. I think he got a penalty, maybe a rough or a fight. Takes his jersey off, and he's just in kind of that Under Armour type gear, and he's flexing to the people in the stands behind him. And he's 160 pounds soaking wet.
Maybe
for whatever reason, I said, "What a weirdo." I don't know why I said that, and I kind of instantly regretted it, but it was that's what came out.
Now it will live in Grizzlies lore. The way to finish out against Rapid City, we'll bring up that one.
We've had a lot of fun memories against Rapid City over the years. We mentioned the Red Hot Rapid City Rush story earlier in this series. A lot of interesting memories and a lot of crazy games between the Grizzlies and the Rush. What do you think the Grizzlies need to do here in the second period? Obviously, third game in less than 8 hours. Both teams are going to be fatigued.
Right. So real briefly, we talked about the importance of the first goal.
Yeah.
So they struck first. So we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Rapid City's starting to pinch off our wings, and especially with the hit on Polk down here, there's some issues we're going to have to overcome and get by those obstacles. Behind that, there's some room behind their defense. We're going to have to get to that and then get the puck to them. Stay the course, stay with our speed and skill, and we'll do just fine.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you second intermission.
Appreciate it, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. When we come back, we'll have second period action. Rapid City leads 1-0 on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're about set for second period action here at Maverick Center as Rapid City leads 1-0. Grizzlies have been outshot 12-10 here through one period. Utah will be on the power play for the first 51 seconds of the second period. Outstanding Sunday crowd here as the middle sections have filled up pretty nicely. We're hanging out high top section 114. Those sections 113 and 115 have filled up nicely, as well as the sections behind the bench areas. Grizzlies will start the second period with a 5-man unit of Luke Manning, Reed Webster, Evan Friesen, Aiden Hans-Bukata, and Danny Genev. And that has been a consistent 5-man power play unit for the Grizzlies just about all season. Horatio Colella is going to take the draw for Rapid City. He's out there with Chase Pauls, Mitchell Smith, and Seth Fighton. 20 minutes are put on the scoreboard clock. Friesen will take the draw. It's won by Rapid City. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it from high top section 114. Miska behind his net will drop it for Hans-Bukata. He's got 19 power play assists this season. Overall, he's got 40 assists and 46 points, which ranks third on the club. Webster crosses center ice, and he'll get it towards the left wing. Now to Friesen. He'll tap it up top. Hans-Bukata, his shot is blocked as Hans-Bukata over towards center ice for Friesen. Now back towards Lebster. He crosses center ice, 15 seconds left in the power play. Lebster over the offense line, skates to the corner as he skates around Rapid City's net towards an art near side. Genev over in the corner. A couple other Grizzlies battle. Coming out of the box will be Bobby Russell. And the Grizzlies are now 0 for 3 on the power play here this afternoon. Puck goes towards the middle of the ice, picked off by Rapid City. And they'll fling it all the way deep into the Grizzly zone and all the way down for an icing as play stops with 18:57 left in the second. Grizzlies have been a strong offensive club this year. Utah is averaging 3.28 goals per game, which ranks 8th in the league, 233 goals. They're 11th in the league in shots on goal at 31.69. The Grizzlies have probably averaged about 33 shots per game over the last 2 months. Draw one by Rapid City. The first period, Grizzlies won the faceoff battle 19-12. Rapid City with a couple faceoff wins to start this second period. Mitchell Smith over the offense line, skates to the right circle. He takes lefty shot, saved by, actually it was blocked by Kempf before it got towards Miska. And the Grizzlies throw it up but not out. As Hannes keeps it in, he's over in the left point. Hannes gets it back from Chizowski. There's Wood over in the corner. He'll kick it up top. Chizowski will hit the top of the board. Salem gets the trickling puck behind Utah's net. Wood over in the corner. Throws it towards the near wing for Riley Connors. Connors will fling it out towards center ice. Now Connors gets it back. Grizzlies on man break. Connors right side. Shot to score! Riley Connors with a slap shot from the right wing. And the Grizzlies tie it up. Oh, what a beauty for Riley Connors. He gets his 18th of the year. And it looks like one person has snuck a fish on the ice. Grizzlies had that tradition in the 1996 Kelly Cup playoffs where fans threw fish on the ice after Utah's goals. And one fish gets thrown on the ice to celebrate Riley Connors' early second period goal. As Connors just slapped one past Nathan Torchia. Really, there's a lot of things Connors could have done there as the Grizzlies had non-man break. Connors called his own number, and he picks up his 18th of the year unassisted, 1:46 into the second period. As they will pick up the fish that was thrown on the ice. And this Maverick Center crowd's fired up. Draw at center ice, won by Rapid City. It was Josh Singer, normally a defenseman, taking the face-off for Utah. As Brett Davis back in his blue line. Rapid City throws it ahead towards Cameron Buell. Buell slings it around the boards. Miska cuts it off behind his net. Now he kicks to the corner. Cameron Buell feeds up top to Smith. Now back to Buell. He sweeps it to Sean Strange off his stick, and the puck goes out to center ice. Strange will backhand it across towards Smith. Smith zips it from one blue line to the other for Cameron Buell. As Grizzlies take it away. Ryan Taylor's got the puck on the right side. He fires a wrist shot. Kick saved by Torchia. Puck stays alive. Buell in the air along with Josh Singer. Grizzlies fire towards the net. Saved by Torkey. That shot was taken by AHB. Hansi Bukata lets it go to Zinger. Back towards Hansi Bukata. Haydu gets tapped away by Strange. Hansi Bukata left side fires it wide. As Rush hustle after the puck, they get there before Ryan Taylor. As Rapid City skips out to center ice. Off of Ends' stick. He regathers it in the Grizzlies zone. As Utah gets it towards Ryan Taylor. He's at center ice. Taylor slides it back to Hansi Bukata, the RIT and Ohio State product. Over to Taylor off his stick. Taylor played at Robert Morris University this season. Before that, spent 3 years at Clarkson University. Lautenbach, he's in the left wing. He'll sling it around the boards. As Boilar and Gillette go after the puck. Zinger gets it behind Hunter Miska's net. Now Colby ends over the near corner. Slides it looking for Lepster. It's taken away. As Rapid City, right side, righty shot. Saved by Miska. Rebound shot and a score. As the Rush retake the lead as Cole Temkin fired it past Miska and taunts the Grizzlies bench during the celebration. So Temkin gets his 5th goal of the year, and the Rush retake the lead. It's a 2-1 game. Shot was taken from the right side. Lautenbach tried to redirect it. Puck kicked off of Miska. Then Temkin got the rebounds and just somehow got it through Hunter Miska. Didn't get a high, didn't get low, just somehow got through to give the Rush a 2-1 lead with 16:45 left in the second period. So draws at center ice. As Lautenbach should get the main assist as he took the shot from the right wing. That will be his first pro point as he just comes over from the college level. As this crowd pretty quiet, even though it is a big Sunday afternoon crowd. As Manning will take the draw at center ice. Rapid City is a club that's hungry for a victory. They are 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. They're trying to break a 6-game losing slide. As Grizzlies cross center ice, Lepster gets it tapped away. Now Rapid City back up with it. As it's 2-1 Rapid City, here 3.5 minutes into the second period. Rush cross center ice. Chase Balls will sling it in. I think we just invented a word right there. Put that in the dictionary, zling. Z-L-I-N-G. Combination of zings and slings. Manning dumps it in from center ice. Hey, we're having some fun, so we don't, get too emotional here. Lepster behind the net as he gets double teamed along the board. Seth Fighton's been physical here this evening. And now the puck trickles back towards the corner. Chase Pauls gets it across to the middle of the ice. Rapid City's Hannes. Across the center ice, native of Minnesota. Gets the high slot. Fakes a toe drag and a shot. Now he skates in. Lefty shot. Saved by Miska. Wagner sporting a mustache and a bit of a mullet. Actually, it's not a bit of a mullet. It is an epic 80s style mullet. Grizzlies chip it towards the right side at center ice. Rapid City's back up with it. 4.5 minutes into the second period. 2-1 Rush. Colella bounces in like a basketball as Dylan Grattan strides after it. Grattan leads Utah with a +10 rating this season. As Rapid City's Fighting throws it looking for Colella, who spins around Grattan. Boilar delivers a hit on Fighting as the Grizzlies come back up with it. Friesen crosses center ice. Now he strides over the offensive line. Now he accelerates to the right circle. Friesen looking for Genev out in front. Passes behind him. Colella throws Kemp to the boards. Genev slings it around from one corner to the other. Nemo make that. Salem joins the play. Genev has the puck. Hippity hop over his stick. Colella will sky the puck out to center ice. Kemp and Wagner each play it. Wagner collects it, and he'll fire it off the blocker of Miska. Those two, I imagine, talked at some point in this series. Former teammates with Colorado. As Smith skates in, left side, lefty shot. Glove saved by Miska. And he holds on with 14:44 left in the second. So Lautenbach and Eric Parker appears to be the ones that get the assists on the Temkin goal. And that was scored 3:15 into the second period. A lot of fans coming back from the concession stands. As fans chugging a beverage of their choice very, very quickly. Like I said, if I got one of those, I might have one of those after the game. You take your time with it. Instead, get it down as fast as you can, like they're trying to break a Guinness World Record. Rapid City fires it wide from the right point. Connors, the Grizzlies goal scorer, gets it to center ice for Nemo. Nemo dances around the center red line. Now he accelerates into the offensive zone. Nemo bobble the puck, gets it back. He'll try to chip it up top towards ends, and taking away is Quinn Olson. Rapid City's doing a good job defensively, anticipating where the puck's going to end up. On the back check, Grizzlies appear to be picking up a penalty And it looked like both referees were made the call. It looked like both referees were trying to communicate as to what they each saw. It looks like they each saw a hook, and it's Riley Connors, the goal scorer, going to the box with 14-18 left in the second. As Connors is on the back check, and Rapid City was skating down the middle of the ice into the offensive zone, and Connors just kind of got around Olsen. Olsen spun around. It wasn't a whole lot, but both referees spotted it, one from behind and one from in front of the play. And they each saw a hook from Riley Connors, 5:42 into the second period. The Grizzlies have been solid on the penalty kill. They're going to need one here. Rapid City's got the puck right side. They dance back and forth. Now up top to Hannes. Rusher trying to salvage the third game of the series. Hannes left side, shot to score. Clay Hannes fires it towards the net. Not sure if it got redirected by Brett Davis. And Davis says Hannes got it in cleanly. He gets the second of the year. Hannes played at the college level earlier this season. And it's a power play goals. It's now a 3-1 game. As Wagner threw it up top, Hannes faked the one-timer, then pretty much the one-timer, but he didn't get a full blast. Puck twirled in the air. Davis was net front trying to redirect it. The puck crossed the goal line and looked like the puck was rising a little bit between Hannes' stick and the back of the net. So it is a power play goal for Rapid City, and they have scored three different ways. They have scored with a penalty shot. They've also scored even strength 5-on-5, and now they have a 5-on-4 power play goal. Hannes with the goal. The assists go to Ryan Chazowski and Ryan Wagner. As puck towards center ice, Portakalis will throw it in. They say Chase Paul's got the other assist, but I do think it was 13 Wagner and not Paul's. As out to center ice, Lebster down the middle, feeds it his left for Gillette. John Gillette centers the Salem lefty, saved by Torquia. As Hannes with the puck, he skates down the middle. 13:40 on a moving clock, second period. Hannes skates over the offensive line. Now he gets towards the left corner. He fires lefty shot blocker, saved by Misk. Actually, it looked like it glanced off his shoulder as blocker tried to extend to get it. Lautenbach with Lebster shadowing him. Now Salem joins the play, holds up Lautenbach, and Lebster comes away with the puck. Reed Lebster taps it ahead, and it was overled for John Gillette. Now Rapid City throws it in. They try to get to Portakalis, and it goes wide of the mark all the way down for an icing. And so the draw is going to come towards Nathan Torquia with 13:14 left in the second. Final game in Grizzlies history. They're looking for their 1,053rd all-time regular season win. It dates all the way back to the late September of 1995. The Grizzlies' first game as the Utah Grizzlies was a 6-5 shootout. Ironically enough, they were playing a team from Phoenix, Arizona. Grizzlies' home opener at Delta Center was on October 6th of 1995 against the Peoria Rivermen, a game Utah won 4-2. It was before that particular time, but Peoria, one of their broadcasters, is Matt McConnell, the current TV voice of the Utah Mammoth, and Matthew Schwegman, the assistant equipment manager of the Utah Mammoth. He used to work with the Peoria Rivermen as well. Taylor gets up top. Noel winds and fires lefty shot. That gets redirected by a stick on the way towards Torquia. As Genev skates towards the right point, he's being shadowed by Russell. Genev's now towards the left wing. Genev slides one out in front. Righty shot misses wide as Ryan Taylor had a good look from Genev. Now Genev to the middle of the ice. He fires lefty shot and it goes over the crossbar. As Rapid City to the corner, as Taylor and Russell collide. Boilard slides it back to the corner for Taylor, but it goes around his skates. Genev trying to feather one to Taylor in front of the net. It tapped off a stick to the corner. Zinger gets held up. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Zinger skates towards the right point. He'll cycle it around. Taylor couldn't reach it. Genev in the area. Smith tries to jab it from Genev. Genev falls down. That's going to be a trip. Rapid City's going to get a power play. Genev tried to play the puck in the circle, and he got tripped up. And so Utah's going to go on a power play for the fourth time this afternoon. Time out on the ice. Rapid City leads 3-1. The Grizzlies are looking for a comeback bid. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
12 minutes and 13 seconds are left in the second period. After the game, the Grizzlies are signing autographs in section 107. I got to imagine it's going to be a pretty long line as we've got an outstanding crowd. My guess is we got somewhere around 7,000 in the house. That'd be the largest Sunday crowd in over a decade. Grizzlies are on the power play for the fourth time this afternoon as Eric Parker gets 2 minutes for tripping. We'll see it the fourth time's a charm as Rapid City wins the draw, and they'll sell it all the way off the near wing boards. Miska cuts it off at the near goal line. As they'll drop it for Genev, taking away Seth Whiting, who's really been aggressive for Rapid City tonight. Whiting centers it off the skate of Aiden Hansen-Bukata as Genev hits the ice. Lepster nearby, Hansen-Bukata over in the corner, fighting battles. As, well, it looks like Seth Whiting, he's really been an aggressive one here so far tonight, and he's made an impact. Genev crosses center ice. Gets around Manning. Now Genev slides it towards the left wing to Friesen. Friesen gets up top towards Lepster, who's in the left point. He'll skate towards his right. He's now in the high slot. He'll throw it against the grain to Genev. Left wing, shot save. Now Manning gets the puck, skates around Rapid City's net. He'll tap it off the boards to Genev in the right point. Now to Hansen-Bukata in the high slot. Back to Genev. Genev will slide it towards Friesen, but Rapid City got a stick in the way, and that was Mitchell Smith. He's been a good penalty kill defenseman for Rapid City this year. Hansen-Bukata to Genev. Right circle. I try to find Manning out in front. Pass was too hot for him. As Hansen-Bukata fires lefty shot and it goes just wide. Friesen gets the rebound off the boards. He'll slide it to the corner for Genev. Danny Genev guides up top to Hansen-Bukata, who solicits to his left for Lepster. Lepster dangles back and forth. Now he moves to his right. Lepster in the high slot guides it towards Genev. And back to Lepster. One-timer saved by Torquia. As Genev teed it up for Lepster, and looked like Reed Lepster trying to go 5-hole, and Torquia closed the door. 10:51 left in the second period, and 38 seconds are left in Utah's fourth power play of the afternoon. So draws going to be in the right circles. The Grizzlies switch up skaters. As Connors will take the face-off. He's got Utah's lone goalies out there with Gillette, Hayduk, Nemo, and Luke Salem. That's a party of five for Utah on this power play. Grizzlies tied it up at 1, a minute 46 into the second with Riley Connors getting an unassisted goal. Cole Timken scored 3:15 in to make it a 2-1 game, and Rapid City took a 3-1 lead as they scored 5:50 in. Right side shot, and it's blocked as Gillette gets back up slowly as Hayduk took the shot from the right wing, and Rapid City clears it out. As Rapid City gets it towards Gillette, right circle, dangling back and forth, fires lefty shot, saved by Torquay, and the rush clear it out. Gillette had 3 goals on Friday night. He had 1 goal game in the college level at Holy Cross last year where he had 4 goals. As Salem, right wing pass towards Gillette, tape to tape at the line. Gillette across towards Hayduk. As the rusher back at full strength. Grizzlies are now 0 for 4 on the power play. Hayduk gets some lumber in the back from Hannes. Left side, Grizzlies slide it across as Connors fell down as he was trying to deliver a shot and it turned into a pass. As Rush dumping in from just outside the Utah line to make a change. Strong outlet pass to Connors off his stick, and he'll race to the bench. We're halfway past the scheduled 60-minute affair. Rush lead 3-1. Rapid City has outshot Utah 17-16. Shots have been pretty close to even throughout. Olsen at center ice. He'll spin it around the boards. Briley Wood, who's got 9 goals this season, cycles it back around. Olsen in the left corner. Throws it around the wall towards Briley Wood. Off his stick, and it goes towards Taylor, who slides it back to Rapid City ice. Briley Wood's got an AHL contract with the Calgary Wranglers. Zinger drops it off to Colella. Now, Mikey Colella, that is. No relation to the Rapid City Rush's Maurizio. 2-on-2 scrum in the corner. Zinger delivers a strong check with his stick. And looked like Strange tried to return the favor. Taylor in the left point. He'll spin it around. Nobody was at the corner on the right side. Zinger delivers a big hit, knocking down Sean Strange. That gets the crowd fired up. Now Quinn Olson, near side looking for an outlet pass. Now he stops, does a bit of a half circle in the corner. Now he slides one across towards Mitchell Smith. Smith guides one looking for Briley Wood, but goes wide of the mark and all the way down for a rush icing with 8:48 left in the second. Grizzlies have had a lot of contributions from first-year pros. In fact, 5 times in the last 8 games, Grizzlies have had a player score their first pro goal. We've been talking about how the Grizzlies have been a strong offensive club this year. They have 13 games where they have scored 6 or more goals and 6 games of 7 or more. Face-offs in the left circle. Manning will take it. He's out there with Gillette and Lepster. Boy, you got to fill in. Reed Lepster's due for a big goal any minute now. Rush get it towards Chizowski, and he'll race out to neutralize. He's Rapid City's leading goal scorer with 29 on the year. He'll throw it in as Grizzlies overskate it. As Buell centers, it's picked off by Lepster. 2-on-2. Lepster crosses center ice. Dangles back and forth, gets to Manning over the line. He stops on the left point. Manning centers it to Enns. Righty shot. Saved by Torquia. Boy, beautiful pass by Manning, who just skipped one out in front towards Colby Enns. Enns tried to get it about waist high past Torquia, but the Rapid City goaltender was able to hold on. As Colby Enns, he was the hero on April 4th, where he won the overtime against Wichita on a great pass from Danny Genev. Ends the season, has 5 goals and 12 assists in 62 games. He's got 4 points in his last 3 games. Draws in the right circle of the Rapid City zone. Rush won the faceoff, and they'll move it out to neutral ice. Ryan Wagner, left wing, crosses center ice, dangling back and forth over the offense line, skates towards the corner with Enns nearby. As Wagner cycles it around the boards, as John Gillette gets out to center ice. Gillette off his stick, Russell nearby. Now taking a Luke Manning ahead to Lepster over the line, 1-on-4. Lepster left side, fires a righty shot. Saved by Torquay off his glove. It stays in play. Rush will float it forward. Puck trickles towards Hanson Bukata, who gets at the Utah line. He'll sling it out towards Friesen over the line to Genev. Genev right circle, fires lefty shot. Saved by Torquay and the butterfly. And he will hold on with 7:49 left in the second. And as Genev, he came into play tied for the league lead with 286 shots on goal. That's about the most the Grizzly has had in many, many years. You almost have to date back to the early portion of this league. I think Ryan Kanasowicz had a year where he had close to 300. Second intermission, I'm really looking forward to one of sports' great traditions, the Coca-Cola can race. We'll make sure to provide some play-by-play of the cans in action. Final Coca-Cola can race. We haven't had one in a couple of weeks. Rapid City wins the draw, was over-led for Strange, or make that Temkin, all the way down though, but no icing. Salem chips it ahead to the Utah line. Grizzlies rink-wide feed angle right to Genev. He gets the puck and he'll skate towards the right circle. Genev trying to get to Kemp as Genev gets double-teamed. He's in the top of the scouting reports of opposing teams every time Grizzlies play. Salem's shot is blocked by a Rapid City skate. As a rush cross center ice, Lautenbach will skip it on to Miska, who kicks it with his right pad. Lautenbach gets double-teamed in the corner. As Friesen head to Genev off his stick. Wood taps it towards Salem. Salem 3-on-2. Steps over the line, gets to Genev. Danny Genev centers to Friesen. Friesen left circle, fires towards the net and hits the crossbar. And the iron is unkind. It's still 3-1 Rapid City. Now Genev right side, centers it. Gratton off his stick. Wood tried to brush it away. Gratton gets it back and tosses it to the corner. Now Gratton and Wood collide as Gratton throws to the corner. Nobody there but Chase Paul's problem. Plays for the rush. Out to center ice. Wood. He'll sling it around the boards. That's a word we just made up earlier in the second period. We're going to go with it. Kind of adds with the Z's. Maybe it's a double Z. As Rapid City takes it away. Chizowski fires lefty shot. Saved by Miska. Grizzlies tap it off the top of the glass. Wood keeps it in the left point. Buell gets it up top. Right side Rapid City. Throws it towards Buell, who scored the penalty shot goal. High slot lefty shot. Rebound shot saved by Miska. Now tapping it in. Strange couldn't find the back of the net. Scramble play in front. Somehow it stays out. Now Strange fires it wide. Smith towards the right side. Gets around Hayduk. He's in the corner. And Strange fires it off of Friesen as Rapid City gets up top. Smith fires a slap shot, and that's sticked away. As a rush sharing pass. Shot saved by Miska. Now they throw it up top to the rush. Smith kept it in. Action in the Grizzlies zone as Noel and Olsen. Olsen gets the puck as it went over Noel's stick. Cameron Buell on the right wing just outside the circle. He'll feed it to the corner for Olsen. Quinn Olsen skeets towards the right point. Now he looked to center to Buell. Tapped off of Friesen's leg. 5.5 minutes left in the second period. Buell to the right side. Skates around Utah's net. Rapid City leads 3-1. Up top to Russell. He fires lefty shot, and that's blocked about 10 feet in front of Miska. Russell to the right side. Dancing back and forth with the blue line near his ankle. Now to Buell. Sending past to Strange, who couldn't handle it. Rapid City gets back up top. Smedsrud. He'll fire lefty shot and gets redirected in front of Miska. Russell rolls it along the boards. Fans are on the edge of their seat, but a lot of action in the Grizzlies zone here. Rapid City slides into the corner. Grattan and Buell get there about the same time. Friesen taps off the boards. Genev looking to get the puck at center ice. Genev does and slides it across towards Hayduk. Hayduk dumps it in as he was at the end of a shift. Rapid City gets it. Less than 5 minutes left in the second period. Rush lead 3-1. Grizzlies been outshot 22-19. Smedsrud rolls it along the roulette wheel. Bukana off his stick as Clella plays it with Buell. Buell looks like he's a little bit bigger this year than what he was last season with the Grizzlies. As the scrum continues, Nemo delivers some lumber on Chaz Smedsrud. Now down the middle of the ice, Hannes dangles back and forth. He's in the left circle, fires it off the outside of the cage. He tried to fire it over Miska's right shoulder. Connors gets towards Clella. Clella centers to Nemo, back in shot. Saved by Torkia. Puck is towards the slot, still loose. Rapid City comes up with it. They skate behind the net. They'll float it forward. It's gloved and dropped by Colby Enns. Now to Connors, who sweeps it around the boards to Nemo. Nemo over a stick. Kallela gets the puck in the left corner. Now he guides up top towards Hanson Bukata. Now to Kallela. He's in the left point. Over to Nemo. He's in the left corner. Back up top to Kallela just outside the circle. Lefty shot. Glove saved by Torkia. And after the whistle, Clay Hannes delivers some lumber to the lower back of Riley Connors. Fun action here at Maverick Center. Grizzlies are looking to climb back into it. Rapid City leads 3-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
3 minutes and 54 seconds are left in the second period. Rapid City leads the Grizzlies 3-1. Offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies as Nicholas Nemo's out there with Riley Connors and Mikey Kallela. Grizzlies are rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. But Josh Zinger is acting as one of the forwards, so it's essentially 10-8. But Zinger is strictly a forward this afternoon. Connors will take the draw against Mauricio Kallela. Utah wins the draw. Nemo drops for Hanson Bukata. Has taken away his fight, and he's really been active for Rapid City tonight. Nemo throws to the corner. Chase Pauls collides with Kallela as Rapid City's Mitchell Smith will pitchfork it ahead, but not out. Grizzlies get towards Kallela. He tried to center it. Maybe the Grizzlies made one too many passes there as Kallela might have had some shooting room on the right side. Enns collides with Wagner. Puck goes back to Kallela. He's on the right side, shielding Pauls from the puck. Pauls pushes Kallela to the boards. Rapid City comes back up with it. Rush will fire it off the near wing boards. Hanson Bukata. He gets the puck. He skates horizontally in front of Miska. Long-range outlet pass to Kallela. Goes past him and all the way down for a Utah icing as there's 3:17 left in the second. Grizzly staff's done an outstanding job this year. Ryan Anderson, the assistant coach, he's worked hard all year. 2 years ago, he was the coach of the Amarillo Wranglers of the NAHL Junior Club. Last year, he was an assistant with the Reading Royals, and he's done a solid job. And John Buchanan clapping his hands. He's done a great job in his first year as Grizzlies head coach. There's one other guy in a suit, and it's defenseman Noah Gansky. Gansky had 3 goals and 8 assists in 37 games, and unfortunately, just off and on, was battling the injury bug all season. He played at Fort Wayne the last couple years. Grizzlies tapping off the glass. Nemo, he battles with Wagner. Puck goes to center ice. Rapid City back in their own zone. About 3 minutes left in the second period. As Lautenbach, he gets the puck, skates down the middle. He'll throw a blue line to blue line pass right wing. It goes all the way down for a rush icing as there's 2:58 left in the second. So faceoff's going to come back towards Nathan Torkia. He's really been outstanding in this series for Rapid City. He stopped 28 of 30 on Saturday night. And this evening, he has saved 20 of 21. Lone goal for the Grizzlies has been scored by Riley Connors, who got his 18th of the year unassisted, 146 in. Friesen will take the draw against Will Portakalis, who just signed with the Rush recently, making his third professional appearance. As Grizzlies win the draw, Josh Singer acting as a defenseman. He gets held up from behind by Timken. Zinger tried to slide it towards the net. Now Salem gets it right wing, fires lefty shot, and that's sticked away by one of the new Rush skaters, either Lautenbach or Portakalis, and it goes out of play. So faceoffs can be in the right circle. First home game in Utah Grizzlies history is October 6th of 1995. First game in Grizzlies history, if you count the year in Denver, was on October 1st of 1994. Tim Broussard claims he was at that game. We're thinking if there was anybody else who could have been in attendance for that first Denver Grizzlies game. Maybe John Yorkie. There may have been a couple others. Maybe one of the four original Grizzlies employees who dropped the ceremonial puck. Maybe they were at that first Denver Grizzlies game. Tim Broussard might be the only one. And if not just him, then just two or three others. Action behind Rapid City's net as Timken, he's got Taylor nearby. Now the puck goes behind Rapid City's net as the Rush will spread the ice. Bobby Russell backhanded off the glass. Portakalis over the offensive line. He'll drop it looking for Lautenbach. As Lautenbach, well, he's been a physical presence this series. He hit Taylor. Now Portakalis down the middle. Lefty shot, and that's sticked away, and it goes out of play. Rapid City's got a couple pretty good ones that they signed this week, and Teddy Lautenbach and Will Portakalis. I know for the Grizzlies, there's a bit of a finality to today's game, but for Rapid City, they got two games next week against the Tahoe Night Monsters, a club that Rapid City's really handled pretty cleanly with a 9-1-2 record. Shots in the first period were pretty close to even, 12-10 in favor of the Rush. And here in the second period, 12-11 is the advantage for Rapid City. Luke Manning will take the draw against Quinn Olson. 2:19 left in the second period. Rush lead the Grizzlies 3-1. Manning wins his own faceoff, gets to Gratton, who skates behind his net. Gratton played with three different colleges, including 1 year where he was a teammate at Penn State with Tyler Gratton. I think he played 2 or 3 years overall at Penn State. Paul skates around his net. Manning gets it in the left corner, but it hippity hops over his stick. Left side shot, that's blocked. Rapid City comes away with it. Olson skates down the right wing. Ball on the back check. Lefty shot and a score. Quinn Olson got around Boileau, just kind of floated over the left shoulder of the Utah goaltender as Quinn Olson gets his 17th of the year. And just like that, it's a 4-1 Rapid City lead. Well, if Boileau would have gotten more of a piece of Olson, and if Boileau would have made sure Olson didn't get a shot off, probably could have been another penalty shot. But Olson was able to kind of muscle his way around Boileau, and even with Boileau trying on the back check to interrupt things, like Quinn Olson strong with the puck, he floated it past Miska. Quinn Olson's been one of Rapid City's best forwards this season. It's 4-1 Rapid City with 1:55 left in the second period. Rush win the draw. They try to get towards Buell. Now it's ahead to Genev. As now Friesen gets the puck, skates towards the left corner. Friesen around Rapid City's net, wraparound shot saved by Torkia as he was in the butterfly right in front of his goal line. Hanson Buchanan near the Grizzlies bench, ahead towards Hayduk. As Friesen with the puck, he'll chip it, looking for Genev. Now Hanson Buchanan towards Genev. Colby ends, fires it off of Friesen, and Rapid City's Chase Pauls gets it. Ahead to Buell left wing. Buell skates towards his right, steps over the offense line, trying to chip it to Davis, but the pass is behind him. Davis's goal was assisted by Ryan Chizowski, who gets his, I think, second assist of the game and 20th of the year. Puck's thrown deep into the Grizzlies zone. Hayden Kempf gets it. Crowd's very quiet here at Maverick Center. Hayduk drops for Genev. How much time's left, Chris Hayden?
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Thank you, Chris. Kempf tried to fire towards the net, and it was blocked about 5 feet in front of the crease. as Friesen slides it towards Noel. He skates to the right corner. Noel fakes to Genev, now around the net. Noel thought about doing the Michigan, but couldn't get control of the puck to do so. Noel has it in the left point. He throws it in deep. Friesen and Genev, lefty shot. And a ricochet off a Wagner stick, and covering it up in the crease is Nathan Torkia. Coca-Cola can race coming up in the second intermission. We will also go over the first two periods of play and also talk with Tim Broussard and get his final memories. And he did say he was at that first Denver Grizzlies game back on October 1st of 1994. Grizzlies won a championship in each of their first 2 years of existence. As off the draw, Kalila fires it high over the crossbar, stays in play as Noel gets pinned to the boards by Seth Whiting, who's really made an impact every time he's been on the ice. Rush towards Wagner on the back check, Kalila, but Wagner is able to move it ahead. Right side, Rapid City sweeps one out in front. Kalila got a stick lifted. And Strange with a shot off of Noel. Rapid City, sharp angle lefty shot by Kalila is snatched by Miska, and he will hold on with 15.3 seconds left in the second. Fans here at Maverick Center have really done a great job supporting the Grizzlies. I know 2 years ago, the Grizzlies averaged more than 6,000 fans per game. And a lot of those were thrilling games. Grizzlies were trying to battle back for a playoff spot. They had struggled in the first half of that 2023-24 season and just missed the postseason by one game. Connors take the draw against Olsen. Olsen's got 1 goal for Rapid City tonight, 19 on the season. Grizzlies have it as Salem, right wing, strides over the offensive line, tries to slither his way to the corner. He gets cut off by Strange. Salem gets it back, throws it in the middle of the ice for Kalala. Lefty shot, saved by Torkia. Towards the buzzer, Riley Connors tries to back one out in front, and that will do it. Rapid City leads Utah 4-1. We'll have the can race, and then we'll go to break, but we'll have the can race first. You better believe it. As it's just one of those, the Rush had a 1-0 lead after one period, and Rapid City trying to salvage that third game of the series, and it's pretty tough to beat a team 3 straight times, especially one like Rapid City, who's led by Ryan Wagner. He's been a good team leader, and really, after the Grizzlies had Rico DiMattio's number on Friday night, Nathan Torkia, the Rapid City goaltenders, held strong as he stopped 28 of 30 last night. Easily should have been one of the 3 stars of the game, and this evening he has saved 21 of 22. The Cans are about ready to come on the ice. Other action across the league. Idaho defeats Tulsa 7-3. Allen gets a 6-3 win over the Wichita Thunder. Jared Youngman and Guy Krenza's Atlanta Gladiators fall 4-2. Jared Youngman in attendance this afternoon, taking in the final game. Other action across the league. Trois Riviere defeats Adirondack 5-1. Worcester over Greensboro 8-1. Orlando defeats Jacksonville 7-4. Kalamazoo gets a 2-1 win over Cincinnati. 2-1 was also the final as Maine defeated Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals. It was also a 2-1 final as Wheeling defeated Reading 2-1. The game winner in overtime was scored by former Rush forward Blake Bennett. Bloomington defeats Greenville in a 4-0 game. In overtime, Indy and Iowa are tied at 3. That game is just starting out overtime, and we want to pour a special one for the Iowa Heartlanders, who are going to be sitting out next season. And we mentioned earlier the AHL's Bridgeport Islanders also are moving after this season. So we've got Fanta, Diet Coke, Sprite, and Coca-Cola. Right now, Fanta's got 3 victories on the season. Sprite and Diet Coke have 2 wins each. Coca-Cola has 1 win. Can Fanta be the ultimate champion of the Coca-Cola can race? I got a bad feeling Grisby's going to interfere some way and somehow in this thing. I don't know how. Tammy Miller talking over the rules. A lot of fans have decided to stay in their seats because they want to see this can race. Fanta cheats! Grisby's in Fanta's costume. Fanta gets out towards neutral ice. Grisby is Fanta. Diet Coke crosses center ice. Passing Fanta, leaving him in the dust. Diet Coke gets around the net about halfway through. Diet Coke very slow. Fanta. Coca-Cola cheats. Coca-Cola cheats. I don't know what they're going to do if Coca-Cola wins. Coca-Cola dancing early. Diet Coke and Coca-Cola, they collide. Sprite now Goes past Fanta. Sprite's going towards the net. That's not where the finish line is. Sprite trying to get to the finish line, and Fanta somehow, some way, is the win, as Fanta is the ultimate Coca-Cola Can Challenge winner. Fanta gets his 4th victory. It was Grisby in Fanta's costume. I think Grisby paid off the other 3 costumes. Sprite easily could have won, and Sprite decided to go around the net. Fanta, Grisby in this case, took the road less traveled, and Fanta comes away with the win. They get 4 victories, and as Fanta wins the overall season series of the Coca-Cola Can Race. We'll come back and recap the first 2 periods and also talk to Tim Broussard to get his thoughts on things. Rapid City leads Utah 4-1 in the ultimate Grizzlies final hunt. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
After 2 periods here at Maverick Center, it's a Rapid City Rush 4 and the Utah Grizzlies 1. Can't believe they're just 20 minutes in regulation time left in Utah Grizzlies history. We're not going to think about it too much because we want to keep the smiles and the smiles here and the tears away. So we'll talk with Tim Broussard here in a few minutes. It was a very evenly played first period. Cameron Buell got a penalty shot, and he delivered and capitalized on it. It was a shorthanded penalty shot, so it will count as a shorthanded goal for Rapid City. Buell got his 20th of the year, and that made it a 1-0 game. Early in the second period, Riley Connors got his 18th of the year. He scored 146 in unassisted on a slap shot from the right wing, and that tied it up. Minute and a half later, it was Cole Timken getting his 5th of the year. He scored 3:15 in. Parker and Portocalis get the assists. And then Rapid City got a power play goal, 5:50 into the second, as Clay Hannes got his 2nd of the year. Ryan Wagner and Ryan Chizowski each get the assists. And then late in the second period, it was Ryan Olsen scoring 18:05 in. It was the 17th of the year. And the lone assist goes to Ryan Chizowski, who has 2 assists on the afternoon. Second period stats, Rapid City had 8 scoring chances of their 12 shots. And so they were able to get the puck in deep and to get good grade A chances. Rapid City has 13 scoring chances of the 24 shots they have through 2 periods. Grizzlies with 6 scoring chances of their 12 shots. 12 of the 22 shots the Grizzlies have taken have been scoring chances according to the off-ice officials. Grizzlies won the face-off battle 19-12 in the first period. In the second frame, it was Rapid City that had a 13-8 edge. The Grizzlies have had quite a few power plays. In fact, they've had 4, maybe 5 power plays so far. In fact, the Grizzlies have had 4 power plays, and they've only had 4 shots, including 2 power play shots in the second period. Rapid City with 8 hits in the second. Grizzlies had 7. As Rapid City has 14 hits through 2 periods, and the Grizzlies have 11. Grizzlies had 4 giveaways in the second period. Rapid City had 5. So the Rush with 11 giveaways through 2 periods, and the Grizzlies have 9. The Zambonis are on the ice. Adam Johnson driving the Zamboni. He actually drove the Mammoth a couple days ago, probably 3 days ago, for the Mammoth in their game against the Nashville Predators. And I think after this season ends, he's going to drive the Mammoth and do some other things over with the NHL organization. I want to thank the Booster Club for everything they've done for me and the players and coaches through all the years. And I was able to get a lot of great booster boxes and all sorts of great stuff. And the boosters have been outstanding throughout the entire stay that I've been here, which is 10 years. And, even before then, you talk about just an amazing crew, the Utah Grizzlies Booster Club. And Jeff Simpson, camera operator, who spent 29 years with the Grizzlies. And they're in a picture with Desi, who was running the show for many years here at Maverick Center. There's Jeff Simpson. He's wearing a Libby jersey, number 28, and that is a sharp-looking jersey. When we come back, we'll talk with Tim Broussard to get his thoughts on what he has seen, and really we'll go through some memories and final thoughts, as Tim Broussard has been my right-hand man for pretty close to a decade now, and we'll have a talk with Tim on the other side. Rapid City leads Utah 4-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Second intermission here at Maverick Center. Rapid City leads Utah 4-1. They're showing a lot of photos, and some of those you took.
Yeah, how about that? Kind of a tribute to the team and everybody and all the hard work put into it. It's rather impressive.
Grizzlies got a goal early in the second period on a nice-looking slap shot by Riley Connors. And, he's going to be a good goal scorer for many years. He has 18 goals this season, and he's a versatile weapon. And it was interesting. Grizzlies had non-man break, but he just kind of kept things simple and called his own number.
He did. Boy, he checked for the Kentucky windage, got the, the topography of the land shot and just launched a cannon. That was artillery. And Taquillo had absolutely just no chance.
That's the first time in 31 years a Grizzlies broadcast the word topography's ever been used. I can guarantee that.
The ice topography? Well, it is Masters, and they got Masters weekend, so you got to mix it in while you can.
Yeah, Rapid City got the 3 unanswered, and just a couple rebounds out in front. Miska's done a great job, but just a couple rebounds, and it seems like just a couple occasions where they were able to get behind the Grizzlies defense and have good looks on Miska.
Yeah, and it's this 2-man forecheck that's absolutely eating our lunch. They're jumping into our passing lanes. They're causing problems, getting behind us, and then they're capitalizing on their chances. And that 2-man forecheck is also part of that penalty kill that now is, causing the Grizzlies to go 0 for 4 on the power play.
And a lot of that has to be the fact that these teams have played each other now 3 times in less than 48 hours. It seems like Rapid City just knows where the puck's going to be, and it seems like they're jumping. They're being aggressive defensively. They're not being passive. They know where the puck's going to be. They're just going to go and take it.
And that's exactly what's happening, literally jumping our passing lanes and getting behind us. And, nobody's fresh after 3 games, right? But
yep.
Somehow they're going to have to dig deep. I mean, Rapid City scored 3. We need to score 3 to get the victory, and obviously we can do it. We just need to see if we can dig deep and do it.
And we've got some really good camera operators. They showed a picture of Jeff Simpson, who had spent 29 years for the Grizzlies on camera 1, and
love it.
We've got a pretty good crew here.
So my last tribute goes out to Jed Lieber, awesome director, awesome mentor. Thanks for the opportunities, Jed. Trent Brown, TV. A number of us crew are on different venues and stuff like that, so we'll be seeing each other. MW, who's on Cam 2, is part of that. You already mentioned Jeff on Cam 1. We have City on Cam 3 and Brandon on Cam 4. And guess what? We have an LED board operator and designer, Sam Winward, on our staff. I hadn't mentioned her all season, but guess what? She's a valued part.
We've got a pretty good video board here, and we've had some fun stuff. You know, those designs on the video board, you know, you get the specialty jerseys, and it's got a little bit of a special touch to it.
Absolutely. The hug cam, all the graphics and stuff like that. Now, my question to you is, what is a sling? Is that a zing plus a sling?
It's a combination of the two. We're going to put it in the dictionary.
We
just invented a word.
I was there. I watched it.
April 12th, 2016. You saw the last Utah Grizzlies game, and you saw the invention. You heard the invention of the word sling.
So on our Ogden Mustangs broadcast, we're now going to have to incorporate that as a regular piece part, the sling.
You know, when the Salt Lake Buzz went away and they had to rename the team, I think the sling could have been a pretty good option. They could have put double Z's as well.
Double Z's.
A lot of fun stuff we're having here, and the Grizzlies are looking for a third period comeback, but it's going to be tough with the fatigue settling in as the third period progresses. Everybody's got their phones out and their lights, and they're singing a Sweet Caroline. This is quite the scene here at Maverick Center.
What a Sunday crowd. You mentioned best one in years that I can even remember. And you mentioned 10 years. 10 years? We've been doing this for 10 years?
Pretty close to it.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was January of 2017. Adrian Denny brought me in to do some game night stuff, and a couple months later, I was doing the pregame, intermission, and postgame show, and I've been here ever since.
Wow. Oh, why not? Let's do a selfie because I'm going to take a moment here real quick and say thank you personally, being my mentor, being all the years. Adrian started this whole mess by being able to watch him doing Grizzlies in 60. So he started it. You finished it. And us reminiscing last night with Craig Handy and everything.
Yeah, we were reminiscing for so long. We look at the clock and go, heck, it's 1:30. We might as well leave at some point.
1:30 in the morning, and we're still yapping, just like the old times with live PD and everything. Adam Turner, shout out to Adam. Everybody who was on that crew, but that one time up in Idaho Central, what is now Idaho Central, now it was CenturyLink Arena, and you and I were up there, and you're like, hey, give it a shot on a pregame show up in Idaho, and just had the time of my life, and then to come back and have Craig Handy say, you didn't suck.
Well, he wasn't wrong.
He did not. Yeah, well, he still denies it. Oh, I didn't do that, but gosh, I guess I feel bad. Well, yes, because you said that, brother. Anyway, personal thank you. I really appreciate you. Everything the Grizzlies organizations has afforded to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for everything, Tim. You've been outstanding. You will continue to be outstanding. I know you're doing stuff with the Ogden Mustangs and Ogden Raptors and the Salt Lake Bees. You've got a lot of stuff going on.
Got a few things, and you're a part of that too. So we'll just keep it rolling.
I'm gonna need a job here starting tomorrow. So
let's do it.
But thanks for hanging out with us for all the years, and it's certainly been a blast.
Thanks, Tyson.
That's Tim Broussard. When we come back, we'll have third period action as the Grizzlies are looking for a comeback. They trail 4-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Rapid City leads Utah 4-1, so the Grizzlies would be looking for a comeback bid, but Utah has been a strong third-period offensive club here this season. And you think back to December 21st before the Christmas break, the Grizzlies had 6 third-period goals, and they're going to need a similar type effort to get a victory here tonight, as Utah has won each of the first 2 games of the series, and the Grizzlies are on a 6-game winning streak. As on Friday night, Grizzlies got a 6-3 victory as John Gillette had 3 goals, Evan Friesen had 2 goals, and Marek Hayduk added 1. And then last night, the Grizzlies won 2-1 in overtime as Marek Hayduk was the hero. First 2 years, the Grizzlies played at Delta Center, and in the summer of 1997, the Grizzlies moved into what was then known as the East Center, and eventually renamed the Maverick Center. And you think about the first event here at East Center in the summer of 1997, it was WCW Monday Night Nitro, and it just happened to be Bill Goldberg's professional wrestling debut. Grizzlies will start the third period with a forward line of Luke Manning, Reed Webster, and John Gillette, and a defensive pairing of Colby Enns and Aiden Hansen-Buchanan. Taking the draw, Rapid City, and winning it, Glenn Olson, who had a second period goal. Rapid City's been pretty balanced with their scoring attack. Ryan Chazowski has 2 assists, and they have goals from 4 different players. Miska behind his net gets it towards Colby Enns, who zips it ahead to Webster off his skate towards Gillette. Gillette throws it in, and Manning gets around the Rapid City defense. Manning collides with Parker. As puck goes to Colby Enns, he fires the righty shot, and that's sticked away, and it flies out of play off the protective netting. 26 seconds into the third period. Grizzlies have had a great snap all year, led by head coach John Buchanan, assistant coach Ryan Anderson, director of skill development Jack Skilley, who is a former first-round NHL draft pick and a longtime NHLer. Director, the athletic trainer is Brick Timoney, and the equipment manager is DJ McFarland. Assistant equipment manager is Miles Stewart. Rush win the draw. They'll float it forward. Webster keeps it in. High slot. Pitches ahead to Manning. Manning right side lefty shot. Glove saved by Torquia as he holds on in the butterfly position to stop play with 19:25 left in the third. So draw's going to be over on the right side as Manning will take the draw once again for Utah. Luke Manning this season has 11 goals and 18 assists. And Manning's been a plus performer. He leads Grizzlies forwards with a +8 rating. Webster centers it out in front, and it was stick off of Gillette on towards Torquay, who covers up in the crease. The Grizzlies already with a couple of good chances, 40 seconds into the third period, but it's still a 4-1 Rapid City lead. As a fan chugs the beverage as fast as he can, and see Hay says, "Let's go," in his skeleton jersey. As Grizzlies win the draw, but it goes between Salem and Kemp. Miska drops for Kemp, who skates around Utah's net. As the clock is stopped, the clock is not moving right now. Still 19:20 left in the third. They're going to have to either stop play or adjust the time. None of the referees or officials notice the clock is not moving right now. As Manning crosses center ice, maybe they do know, and they're just keeping it on the ice. Manning gets it jammed away by Wagner. Now the clock is moving, but we lost a good 30 seconds. We may have more than 60 minutes of Utah Grizzlies hockey here tonight. Hey, we don't mind. Play forever. Manning towards the right side. As he's in the corner, drops it off for John Gillette. Now he gets to Manning, right side off his stick. Now Manning slides one towards Salem in the left point. In deep to Webster, lets it go to Gillette in the right corner. As Gillette, he gets hit by Fighton, and Gillette goes down. As looks like John Gillette's slow to get up. He played in every game this season. He's going to limp towards the bench as he tried to avoid a Fighton check and Fighton got a little bit of Gillette's leg. Gratton crosses center ice. Grizzlies switch up skaters. Gratton ahead for Nemo. Nemo slides it off the Rapid City backboard. Grizzlies are skating from right to left here in the third period. As a rush. Skating from left to right. Davis across the center ice for Smith. Mitchell Smith's played a solid game for Rapid City, in particular on the penalty kill. Nemo gets the puck. He'll skate towards the right wing. Nemo gets the right circle, fires a righty shot, saved by Torquia, and he will hold on. The Rapid City goaltender's done a good job collecting and controlling rebounds here this series, both last night and here tonight. So Grizzlies with a couple looks here in the first 2 minutes of the third period. Nicholas Nemo had a pretty good year at Bentley University in his first college season, where he had 8 goals in 32 games. Then he spent 2 years at the University of Maine. This season, Nemo scored 3 goals at Niagara University. Manning will take the drives out there with Ryan Taylor and Josh Zinger. Puck off of Zinger's skate. Rapid City out to center ice. Rush dangling back and forth, and they will skip one towards Miska wide. As Cameron Buell shields Hanson Buchanan from the puck. Zinger backhands it ahead. It's sticked away by Smedzard. Davis down the middle of the ice. Gets back checked and forechecked from Enns and Taylor. Hanson Buchanan pins a rush skater to the boards. Grizzlies in a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Hanson Buchanan behind his net. Now goes to the right wing. Sean Strange. There was a Sam Strange that played somewhere in some sport, and that's why I'm getting confused there. Rapid City back in their own line. As the Rush spread the ice, Grizzlies will switch up skaters. We played 2.5 minutes of this third period. Rush still lead 4-1. Rush dumping in as Kempf drops for Salem, who slides it towards Friesen, gets a stick lifted by Parker. Now Friesen globes it out to center ice. It goes over the head of Parker. Rapid City in their own zone. Now Hannes gets a new try. Still backhanded to his right as Portocalis gets around Salem, lost control of the puck. Portocalis now overskates the puck, and the Grizzlies slide one to the corner. Danny Genev gets it, the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award. He's been a ton of fun to watch this season. Over to Salem over the line as he fakes it to Friesen, and Salem gets a good strong shoulder check from Clay Hannes. Battle behind Rapid City's net as Salem comes off. Well, I think that hit got him pretty good, about shoulder high. As the scrum continues, Friesen gets pushed in the side. Rapid City just kind of pins the puck along their skates. Fans want some action. Puck along the left wing as Kempf over to Genev. Back to Friesen behind the net. He'll skate towards the left goal line. He backhands it up top to Kempf. Across to Noel. One-timer. Saved by Torquia. As that one was twirled about waist high by Noel. And Torquia made a save and stops play with 16:29 left in the third. I'm curious if they're ever going to adjust the clock, as they lost about 40 seconds with the clock not moving, maybe 30 to 40 seconds, but I'm not sure if anybody spotted it to adjust it. But the Grizzlies will certainly take it as they're in a comeback bid right now. They're down 3, 4-1's the score, but they've had a lot of offensive zone time here early in the third period. Manning will take the drives out there with Gillette and Lepster, as face-off this time won by Rapid City. Face-off battle pretty even through 2 periods. Grizzlies had an edge in the first period. Rapid City won that 13-8 in the second. Wood over the offensive line. Arm is raised by Andrew Collins, the linesman. Max Brown's tuned into the game, and he wants a tribute to Mr. Clutch, Mitch Maxwell, who played for the Grizzlies for 2 or 3 seasons, and he was Mr. Clutch because it seemed like he would score some big goals for the Grizzlies. He was a guy that could do just about everything. He could play forward, could play deep. He knew how to play, and he was certainly a strong one. Mitch Maxwell, you have been honored, as Max Brown wants to remember Mitch Maxwell, who really was a clutch performer for the Grizzlies over a couple season stretch. Puck hops over the stick of Quinn Olson as John Gillette gets to center ice, and he'll spin one in deep. Reed Lepster behind Rapid City's net. He tried to tap it towards Manning, but Chizowski cuts in front. But Rapid City's been on point defensively all game long. With it being the third game in less than 48 hours, these teams are familiar with each other. Wood right side righty shot blocker saved by Miska. As Lepster gets the puck, he's in the corner. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. As Lepster out to new tries, cross the center, all backhanded ahead as the puck gets about 5 feet of air under it. As Connors tries to break free of Wagner. Colella behind the net as he plays the puck with Parker. Up top, Grattan. Around the boards to Connors. Connors lays it for Colella in the corner. And Mikey Colella spins around Parker. Gets it towards Nemo down the middle of the ice. Arm is raised by the referee. There's going to be a penalty, and who's it on? Boy, the Grizzlies fed one out in front. Hooking's going to be the call. Chase Pauls can't believe it. And actually, it's Fighton who can't believe it. But Seth Fighton's going to go to the box. And the Grizzlies will get their 5th power play of the afternoon. 15-17 left in the third. Rapid City leads 4-1. as the penalty was drawn by Nemo. Nemo tried to collect a centering pass about 10 feet, maybe to 5 to 10 feet in front of the crease, and fighting from behind just hooked him. So the penalty goes to Seth Fighton. 4:43 into the third period. Friesen will take the drives out there with Manning, Webster, Gratton, and Genev. Gratton with the puck gets it towards Genev. Now back up top to Gratton, who slides to Genev in the right circle. Danny looking, surveying. Now he skates behind the net. Sorry, pass on a score! Genev to Friesen to the back of the net. It's a power play goal as it's now a 4-2 game. That's the third time in this series where Genev gets the main assist on an Evan Friesen goal. It is Friesen's 7th power play goal of the season, and it's Danny Genev's 22nd power play assist. Genev just skated behind Rapid City's net, fed one out in front, and Evan Friesen was all alone. And Friesen tapped it stick side past Torquia. One fish is being thrown on the ice. That is a tradition that some Grizzlies fans really enjoyed. The feed the fish thing that happened quite a few years when the Grizzlies would score a goal in the playoffs. I believe in the 96 finals, they throw them on the ice for every goal. And then it was kind of that same year that the Florida Panthers had the Rat Pack. And the feed the fish after the first goal in a playoff game stood until just about 3 or 4 years ago. Friesen with the goal, Genev, and Gratton with the assist. 4:54 into the third period. Genev now has 49 assists on the year. Dylan Gratton has 9 assists for Evan Friesen. It's his 26th goal of the year and third in this series. Connor centers it. Nemo trying to get the bouncing puck. He was nearby Brett Davis. 4-2. Connors hits a rush player from behind. Pauls delivers a cross check and play getting very physical. The net goes over Torpia as now Torpia is laying on the ice and the net is over him. The net toppled over in front of the crease, and Torpia, luckily, he didn't get too much contact with the crossbar as everybody was getting after it behind Rapid City's net. As the Grizzlies, obviously, with that power play goal, are trying to build on the momentum and see if they can get another one. And the net just toppled over. The Rapid City goaltender, Nathan Torpia, is not a big goaltender. He's listed at 5'10", 180 pounds. And it's a good thing because if he were 6'5", he would have had the crossbar coming on the back of his neck. There's a lot of action and spirit. The Grizzlies, I think, see this as a golden opportunity to try to build on the momentum of the power play goal. So I wonder if there's going to be a penalty either side when the linesman goes to the scores table. As Connors looked like Connors and Hannes collided, and that's where the net went over Torpia. And luckily for the Rapid City goaltender, it looked like Torpia was anticipating the puck going in, and there's Torpia laying under the net. So there's 14:43 left in the third period. Rapid City 4, Utah 2. Faceoff's going to be at neutral ice near the rush bench. Fans having a good time here on a Sunday afternoon. We'll see if we can get the attendance shortly as to who's in the house. My guess, we got somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 here at Maverick Center. Rush throw it in from center ice. Miska slings it towards the right corner as Colella cuts in front of Smedsrud. Riley Connors gets it towards Colby Ends. Ends crosses center ice. Steps over the offensive line. Fires towards Torpia. And a save by Torpia off his right ankle. Nemo fires one out in front. And ricocheting off of Torpia. Action in the rush zone as Riley Connors gets physical. A strong shift by Connors as he's looking to climb Utah back into it. He scored a second period goal as Rapid City zips one angle right to Davis, who gets off the boards. He scored a goal last night. Davis stops in the right circle as the Rush make a change around him. Davis drops it to the corner as Utah gets it towards Ryan Taylor wearing number 44. He'll toss it ahead. Wood keeps it in. He tattoos the puck off the boards. Noel to Taylor. Now Rapid City feeds it back to the near circle of the Grizzly zone where Noel plays it. Andrew Noel, hot pass angle right to Zinger. Zinger to his left for Taylor. Taylor gets around a rush skater. Now Taylor Throws it behind Rapid City's net. Puck goes up top to Boileau on the right point. Stops, fires lefty shot, and Taylor hipped off his knee as Taylor tried to jump out of the way to avoid the Boileau shot, but got a piece of it. Olsen over the line to Wood. Wood right side. Toe drag. Righty shot. Saved by Miska. Now Rapid City. Left side. Backhands one out in front. Miska makes the save. 13-17 left in the third period. Rush lead. Utah 4-2. Evan Friesen scored a power play goal. 4:54 in. He is second in the club with 26 goals. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
Minutes and 17 seconds left in the third period as Grisby getting honored here during the timeouts. Grisby holding a sign that says "Go Grizz." I didn't know Grisby knew how to spell. As draws over in the left circle. I don't know what Grisby's going to do after this season. I've been asked 30 million times what I'm going to do. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know what Grisby's going to do. Like, is he just going to, it's going to be an extended hibernation. Right point, Parker, righty shot, saved by Miska in the breadbasket, and he will hold on with 13:09 left in regulation. What's Grisby going to do when this thing's all over? Is he going to go hang out with various spots in the league? Is he going to hang out with Nugget, the Rapid City mascot? He's going to hang out with the Biscuit, the Allen Americans mascot. Not sure what Grisby's going to do. So Draw's going to be in the right circle. It's still 4-2 Rapid City. 13:09 left in the third. Grizzlies in their own zone as the draw. Both teams jostle for it. Puck slides to Ryan Wagner. He's at the right goal line. Wagner dangling back and forth. Now he tried to get to Parker. Genev took it away. Genev raced into the offensive zone left wing. Genev towards the left circle. He'll take a lefty shot. Save. Now Genev gets it back. Genev throws it towards the right side. Now it goes to Kemp. Kemp to Salem. One-timer saved by Torpia. Salem around the boards toward Genev. Sires to Friesen. Shot saved by Torpia as it ricocheted off his left shoulder. Wagner races across center ice. Genev on the back check. As Wagner tosses to his left, Genev takes it away. The Grizzlies have an extra bounce to their step as they're looking for a comeback bid. 12.5 minutes left in the third period. 4-2 rush as Salem out to center ice. Kalala nearby. Salem takes a spill. No penalty as Salem gets back to his feet slowly and he will skate to the bench. Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Kemp ahead towards Gillette. Gillette left wing at center ice. He'll fire on to Torpia, who gloves it with Manning skating nearby. Play stops. So Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 12:07 left in the third. Manning talking things over with John Gillette. Gillette's played in every game, and as we mentioned, he's been an ultimate glue guy for the Grizzlies all year. And in a season that's been filled with a ton of change to the roster with injuries and things of that nature, to have the four guys who have played in every game, they have certainly been rock solid. Genev, Friesen, Gillette, and Lepster. Grizzlies won the draw. Lepster's shots blocked. It looked like Lepster tried to get it to Gratton, and it's picked off. Haven't seen Aiden Hansen-Bukatas. Looks like Gratton's taking his spot as Rapid City was skating along the near wing, and they're offside. Grizzlies did a good job protecting their blue line. 11:57 left in the third. Haven't seen Hansen-Bukata in the third period as Dylan Gratton has been taking his spot on a pairing with Colby Enns. As Manning will take the draw against Will Portakalis. Draw won by Utah as Gratton one-hands it ahead towards the dot and neutral ice. Now it goes back to Gratton over to Enns. The Grizzlies have a comeback in them. They've got 2 goals on 31 shots. Luke Manning gets pushed down at center ice. Manning gets back to his feet. Manning throws it in, and Manning and Pauls collide. Rapid City back behind their net. Pauls lets it go to the left point. Grattan over towards Manning. Manning fires lefty shot. Glove saved by Torpia. 11:30 left in the third period. Rapid City still leads 4-2, and the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Utah will switch up skaters as Mikey Clella talks things over with Riley Connors. And the energetic Bash brothers of Boilar and Noel are on the ice. Still 1 week worth of hockey left in this league. Most of the other teams are in action. Grizzlies are playing game 72 of the regular season. In fact, the Grizzlies are the only team that's wrapping up this weekend. Actually, it looks like two teams, Utah and Idaho, are done with the regular season. Everybody else has games next week. Utah and Idaho, the only two wrapping up this afternoon. Rapid City wins the draw. There's 11 and a half minutes left in regulation. Grizzlies are looking for a comeback bid. It looks like the Grizz are put together a pretty good third period effort. Puck slides towards the Utah line, and Noel tattoos it ahead. Clella lets it go. It slides towards Torpia. Now Rapid City's Sean Strange throws it across. Puck off of Connors, and it trickles out to center ice. Clella floats it forward, and Parker will take it in the right corner of his own zone. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the third period as we see it from high top section 114. Rush, throw it off the top of the glass. Taking its Nemo. It gets in deep to Connors. Connors trying to center it to Clella. It's taken away by Evan Parker. Eric Parker. Boilar, right side lefty shot, glove saved by Torpia. I was talking with Tim Broussard. He's working for the Ogden Raptors, and Evan Parker is the manager of the Raptors, and Eric Parker just happens to be a defenseman for the Rush. And I think there was another guy named Eric Parker who was a wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers in the early 2000s. John Gillette will take the draw. He's out there with Zinger and Taylor. Grizzlies looking to climb back into it. They've got 32 shots, including 10 of them here in the third period. Zinger gets the puck as he's to the middle of the ice. Zinger fires a righty shot. That ricochets off the face of the Rush skater. And play stops. Zinger just kind of zipped one ahead and kind of wristed one towards the net. Got a little bit too much air under it. And puck went off the face of a Rapid City skater. See if you can find the name on it, on the player that is coming off the ice slowly. I think it was Hannes. It was Clay Hannes that took the puck to the face. As they'll do some cleaning in front of the crease. As Zinger, looking for his first pro goal, just got a little bit too much air under it. As ricocheted off the face of Clay Hannes. He'll go to the locker room. Hopefully he's all right. There's 10:38 left in the third period. Still 4-2 Rapid City. And I got to guarantee there's very few fans that are going to want to leave early. You know, even though the parking lot is packed after the game, fans will paint a message on the Maverick Center ice. There's going to be autographs signed by the Grizzlies players in section 107. And everybody obviously is going to want to have one final send-off. Grizzlies win the draw. Taylor with a righty shot that misses wide. As Grizzlies get back up top to Kemp. Kemp pedals his feet, gets it towards Zinger. Shot saved by Torquia off a Zinger stick. Gillette takes a spill behind Rapid City's net. Taylor's now on two knees, back to his feet, battling with Olsen. Mitchell Smith comes up with the puck, and he will zip it past Zinger. There's a bouncer towards the Utah blue lines, collected by Hank Kemp. As Kemp from around his own net. He's along the near wing, guides it towards Gillette. Gillette floats it forward. Puck about shoulder high, collected by Torpia. He collects it with 10:04 left in the third and stops play. So another offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies, and Utah's up to 12 shots in this third period. So many great players. You think back to that IHL era, which was certainly a magical 6 years. As one of the fans wearing a Gord Dineen jersey, he is the only official retired jersey in Grizzlies history, although nobody was ever going to wear number 9 again after the last, for the last handful of years. Is Ryan Kanaswich. His jersey should be hanging from the rafters. Grizzlies won the draw. Genev high slot. Lefty shot. Blocker saved by Torpia. Boy, Nathan Torpia has been amazing so far for Rapid City, stopping 33 of 35. Freezing over to Genevi's in the left corner. Centering pass. It's behind Hayduk. Now ends right side shot. Blocker saved by Torpia. The puck will slide all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Dylan Grattan runs it down. He's behind Utah's net. He'll slide one across. Genev lets it go. And Utah tapped it in their own zone. or at their side of center ice, and it's going to go all the way down for Utah icing with 9:35 left. So faceoffs near Hunter Miska, one of 9 goaltenders to appear in a game for the Grizzlies. Miska is tied with Dylan Wells for the club lead with 7 wins each. As a draw won by Rapid City. Now off a couple sticks, Utah comes up with it. Genev crosses center ice. Veers off to his left as he threw it towards the left wing. Delayed offside. The arm is raised by Andrew Collins. Make that Craig Peterson. Collins didn't raise his arm. Grizzlies are offside with 9:24 left in the third. A lot of emotion and intensity in this one. The Grizzlies are trying to put together a comeback bid. Third game in less than 48 hours. You know everybody's tired as there's some sticks on knees, but they're going to give whatever they've got here this evening. No question about that. Breeson's out there with Hayduk and Genev. So many great games we've seen here at Maverick Center. Grizzlies win the draw. They get it towards Boilar. Boilar fires it in. As Rapid City, they'll loop it forward as it goes just under the video board and trickles deep into the Grizzlies zone. Boiler and Noel after it. As Boiler rolls along the boards deep in his own zone. Noel gets double teamed in the corner as Lagerbach gets it up top. Rapid City fires a lefty shot and it's blocked by Hayduk. Fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant for the 50th time here this afternoon. As Noel gets back towards Friesen across to Genev. Grizzlies spread the ice. Genev loops it forward. Bouncing puck over the stick of Hayduk, who was last night's hero. He's got 4 goals in his last 5 games. Son of Milan Hayduk, the Harvard product. Skating against Portakalis, right side. Lefty shot saved by Miskov, his glove. Puck still alive. Portakalis gets it across to Davis, who will slide it to the corner. Davis around Utah's net. Tried to curl one out in front. It's picked off by Reed Lebster. Lebster crosses center ice. As he dangles back and forth, Lebster tries to split a double team. Puck slides towards Torquia, and he will cover up with 8:20 left in the third. So Grizzlies are up to 14 shots here in the third period. Rapid City has taken 5. Fans having a good time here at Maverick Center. Manning will take the drives out there with Lebster and Gillette. The defensive pairing is Salem and Kemp. Draw one by Rapid City. As they'll float it forward, but it's kept in by Lebster. Lebster backhands to the corner for Manning, who couldn't reach it. Gillette behind the net. He's being shadowed by Smedzrud. Gillette falls down. Smedzrud keeps his feet. Chaz Smedzrud throws it in front of his own net. As the Rush now spread the ice, and they will torque the puck forward. As Lebster over with Manning. Now the Rush, rink-wide feed, angle left connects. Rush 3-on-3. They throw it towards the left circle. Rapid City looking for a center pass for Buell, who swings and misses. Gillette comes back the other way, left wing. He's just outside the Rapid City line. Gillette slides one across. Grizzlies hang out of neutral ice as Dylan Gratton. He'll skate in, stop in the high slot, try to get to Lebster. Lebster off his stick. He'll retrieve the puck in the corner. Around to Gillette. 7.5 minutes left in regulation. Up top to Gratton, who fires lefty shot, and it goes wide. He was looking for a redirection. As Lebster gets the Manning, but it goes past him and all the way to neutral ice. Enns runs it down as he gets it and skates back into his own zone. Colby Enns keeps his head up, and he'll drop it for Gratton. Dylan Gratton gets around one skater, across the center ice. Splits a double team. Tried to move it to his right. Brought Wood, tapped it with his stick. Good play by Briley Wood. As Wood's got an AHL contract with the Calgary Wranglers. Olsen throws Connors towards the boards. Now Olsen holds on to Connors as Rapid City throws it deep in the Grizzly zone. No icing. Miska will brush it to the corner. Nemo, left wings to Colella. Mikey Colella skates towards the left circle. Now Colella fires towards the net. Saved by Torquay in the butterfly. As Connors, he delivers a hit. Now Colella, sharp angle shot. He scores! Mikey Colella scores! He was at the left goal line and stuck it in. And it's now a 4-3 game. Colella now has a goal in back-to-back games. As he was at the left goal line, Torquay had tried to close up the near post. And somehow, some way, Mikey Colella. And one more fish is being thrown on the ice. It's Utah's third goal. Third time a fish has been thrown on the ice as they feed the Grizz. As Colella was in the corner, shot was taken, then Rapid City got it. And then Colella got to the left goal line and somehow just kind of snuck it in as it went right under the right shoulder of Torquay. And Torquay looked under him and couldn't believe that the puck went past him. Colella with the goal, Riley Connors with the assist. So Mikey Colella, he's been outstanding over the last couple weeks. As he tells Riley Connors, great pass. Connors now has a multiple-point game with 1 goal and 1 assist. As puck goes towards center ice, the Grizzlies have one more miracle in them. As Ryan Wagner, he'll slice it in. Grizzlies have scored 2 unanswered here in the third period. Friesen 4:54 in on a power play goal, and Colella 13-17, making it a 4-3 game with Connors getting the assist. Arm is raised. Grizzlies are going to get a power play. Painting over the offensive line. He fires a lefty shot blocker, saved by Torquay, and the puck flies out of play. Utah's going to get a power play. It'll be their 6th. High sticking is going to be the call. The referee, John Linder, is going to check for blood. So one time you want to see blood and be able to show it to the referee, though it's just going to be a 2-minute penalty. So Grizzlies are buzzing here in the third with this great crowd here at Maverick Center. They're looking for one final miracle. As you mentioned before, the Grizzlies have been a strong third-period club this season. Attendance here tonight is 7,134. 71-34 here at Maverick Center. High sticks a call as Seth Whiting goes to the box for the second time tonight. Grizzlies captain Tyler Gratton in a very beautiful light blue suit. That's a lot better than the suit I was wearing on Friday when I dropped the puck before the game. I might have to find Gratton's tailor and see what I can get for that suit. Grizzlies win the draw. Dylan Gratton. Grizzlies down 4-3. He'll get it towards Lepster. Lepster just outside the left circle. Over to Manning. Manning centers to Friesen. Shot is chipped away. Geneva over to the right wing. There's now 6 minutes left in regulation. Grizzlies looking for a comeback. It's 4-3. Utah scored 2 unanswered. Lepster, he's over the left point. Skates towards the slot. Now towards Manning. Manning in the left circle. Shuffles his feet. Gets it towards Gratton. Back towards Manning. And Luke Manning slides it around Rapid City. Tosses it to Maurizio Colella. And he'll pitch fork it all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. As Dylan Gratton gets the puck, we just saw his brother Tyler Gratton walking down the tunnel. As Dylan Gratton lays it for Lepster. 5.5 minutes left in regulation. Lepster crosses center ice, skates over the offensive line, veers off to the right. Lepster's now in the corner. As fans take up a Let's Go Grizzlies chant, Rapid City throws it to a busy corner. Now the Rush will fire it off the boards, and it goes all the way to Utah ice. Grizzlies slide one towards Geneva. He's wearing number 26. Popular figure here in the Salt Lake Valley. Geneva gets to Friesen, but it was overled for him. He couldn't reach it. Now Geneva gets the puck in the left corner. He skates in. Geneva back in shot. And that's blocked by a stick before it gets to Torquay. 4:52 left in the third. Over to Lepster. Lepster dances back and forth. He's in the left circle. He surveys. Lepster looking for somebody to throw to. Gets up top to Gratton. Gratton fires lefty shot that misses high. Puck trickles towards Manu. Gets engulfed by Strange. Rush slide one out in front of their net, and they'll skip it all the way towards Miska. 15 seconds left in Utah's power play. 4.5 minutes left in regulation. Grizzlies looking for the tying goal. 10 seconds left in the power play. Connors crosses center ice. Skates around 2 defenders. Connors now gets the left circle, skates in, looking for a centering passage. Chipped away. Good defensive play by Mitchell Smith. Rusher back at full strength. Salem, right side lefty shot. Saved by Torquay. Time out of the ice. Do the Grizzlies have one in them? 4-3 Rapid City. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
4 minutes and 9 seconds are left in the third period. Grizzlies are up to 40 shots for the night and 18 here in the third period. Grizzlies have momentum. They have scored 2 unanswered in this third period. Evan Friesen on a power play, 4:54 in. And then Mikey Club, 13-17 in. As Rapid City skates around their net, they won the faceoff. They'll plop it towards the Utah line. And now Rapid City back deep in their own zone with the puck. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the third period. As Rapid City crosses center ice, Paul says a chip away off the stick of Mikey Colella. As now the Grizzlies have it in their own zone. Hank Kemp with the puck. The fans take a Let's Go Grizzlies chant. A very emotional crowd. It's an emotional day. Final game in Grizzlies history. As Utah, one of 2 teams in the league to finish up this evening. Idaho's the other. Salem whips it around the boards. 3:25 on a moving clock. Rapid City taps it off the wall. Noel's in the area. As Noel fires it off of Cameron Buell. Now the puck goes back to Noel. Noel started the year with Cincinnati. Now Geneva gets to the Rapid City bench area. Across towards Hayduk. Hayduk gets a good shoulder check. The puck. Hayduk will float it towards the right corner. Taken by Quinn Olson. Both teams will spread the ice. 3 minutes left in regulation. 4-3 Rapid City. They scored 3 goals in the third period. In the second period, Grizzlies with 2 in the third. Olsen stops just in front of the Utah blue line, and they'll slide it back towards Rapid City ice. The Rush want to slow it down a little bit. As Grizzlies have all 5 players at neutral ice. Now the Rush slide it ahead. Rapid City over the line. Chizowski gets to the left wing as he gets hit by Noel. Now towards Quinn Olsen. His shot's blocked. Hayduk races out to neutral ice. Gets it tape to Gillette. Gillette over the line. He'll drop it for Friesen. Friesen back to Gillette, right side. Gillette stops in the corner. Now he drops for Lebster. Oh, somebody for Rapid City cut in front of Lebster. He couldn't get the one-timer off. Miska's coming off the extra attacker. 2:15 left. Gratton throws it towards Lebster. Chips off the stick. Backhand shot saved by Torquia. Now Gillette. Across towards Gratton. He's in the corner. Gratton gets up top to Enns. Enns, he fires right. His shot, it goes just wide. Gillette around the net. Looking for a wraparound. Too much traffic in front of Torquia and around his left shoulder. 1:55 left in regulation. Grizzlies looking for the tying goal. Dylan Gratton backhands it towards Gillette. It goes off his skate. Rapid City will float it towards neutral ice. It's cut off by Gratton. He gets it to Geneva. Danny Anders from the left wing. Skates towards a circle lefty shot. Glove saved by Torquia. And he will freeze the puck with 1:40 left in the third. Wonder if Ryan Anderson and John Mechanic will use their timeout. Ryan Anderson's got the clipboard. Timeout, Utah. Grizzlies looking for the tying goal. And this will keep the same 6-man unit on the ice, so give them a little bit of a breather. Timeout, Grizzlies. Fans are going nuts here at Maverick Center. And very few, if any, have headed for the exits. There's so many different things to think about here on a day like today. It's a day of celebration. It's a day of reflection. It's a proposal. And she says yes. How about that? Off the cuff, a guy gets shown on the video board. He proposes to his girlfriend. And boy, a lot of people are going to remember this day, and they are definitely going to remember this one. You can debate just how much of an impact the Grizzlies have had here in the community, here in the Salt Lake Valley. And for my money, you talk about all the great memories, all the great years, and really You think about the Grizzlies kind of keeping the spirit and flame of pro hockey alive and well in the Salt Lake Valley for 3 decades. And then when Utah's NHL team showed up, they were ready for hockey, and it wasn't a foreign sport to them. No question about that. Friesen will take the drives out there with Connors, Genev, Lepster, Gratton. As Utah wins the draw, Gratton, he's in the high slot. He fakes it, gets towards Lepster. One-timer goes wide. 1:30 left in regulation. Genev gets pushed in the corner. Pauls battles with Salem. Connors in the area. As Gratton, he gets the puck. He'll slide it towards the net. Grizzlies hacking away. Puck's calling the crease. And score! 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 Evan Friesen gets his second of the night. And we're tied at 4. One final miracle at Maverick Center. 3 unanswered third period goals. How about that? Friesen was hacking away along with Gratton. And Friesen just backhanded it past Torquia. And with that, multiple fish were thrown on the ice to signify feed the Grizz. Rapid City is begging for a penalty. And they are begging for a power play. They're hoping the Grizzlies can get a penalty for the fish being thrown on the ice. What a moment. Draws at center ice, tied at 4. Rush, throw it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Grizzlies get it out to center ice. Hayduk, he tries to split a double team. Puck goes away from him. 1 minute left in the regulation. John Gillette skates towards the right side. He'll take a right lefty shot. Saved by Torquia. Boy, Gillette just muscled his way around a rush skater. Fired onto Torquia, who made a save. .6 seconds are left. And if we go to overtime, Grizzlies have had some success in that regard as well. How's your blood pressure doing? Mine's not doing good at all. Friesen's on hat trick watch. He's got 2 goals. As Buell over in the corner. It's deep in the Rapid City's end. 48 seconds left. As puck goes towards Manning. Manning to Friesen. Friesen slides it to Manning. Manning to Lepster. One-timer's blocked. Well, Lepster's been robbed so many times over the last 3 weeks. Grizzlies still in the offensive zone. Lepster towards Friesen. Friesen gets belted by Chase Pauls. It was an open ice. It was clean. Grizzlies have it back in their own zone. Dylan Gratton sliced it ahead. We haven't seen Hanson Bucata in the third period. 18 seconds left. Friesen loses control of the puck. Rapid City 2-on-2. They cross center ice. Davis towards Smedford off his stick. 10 seconds left. Puck's at neutral ice. Friesen, does he have a hat trick in him? He skates over the offense line. 5 seconds. Drops it for Lepster. Lepster gets it tossed away. Ends of the buzzer. Fires a righty shot and it's blocked. We go to overtime. Grizzlies get 3 unanswered third period goals and both teams will get a standing point. And what better way to close out the final chapter of Utah Grizzlies history as Utah finds a way at the end of regulation. Friesen with the goal, Lepster and Manning with the assist, 18:39 into the third period. If he joined us late, Rapid City had a 1-0 lead late in the first period as Cameron Buell got his 20th of the year. Riley Connors tied it up, 1:46 into the second period. Rapid City then scored 3 unanswered second period goals to make it a 4-1 game. Friesen cut into the lead, 4:54 into the third period with his 26th of the year. Genev and Gratton with the assists. Colella scored on a very sharp angle along the left goal line, 13-17 in. And then Friesen tied it up on a scramble play, 18:39 in. Grizzlies won each of their last 2 overtime games. They have another miracle in them. We've already seen a little bit of a miracle with the 3 third-period goals. And not many people, if any, have left here early. Emotions. Yep, she's crying. I think we're all crying. I'm not gonna start crying myself. Already did that. I'm gonna do that here some more. How about the Grizzlies' third period? They had 23 shots in the third period. They outshot the Rush 23-5 in the third period. You talk about putting together a furious rally to try to tie it up. Boy, the Grizzlies with a great A effort. And regardless of what happens here in overtime, I think the Grizzlies have got to be proud of what they accomplished this season. I know it's not a playoff year, but they went through 60 guys and had so many injuries. And what they're able to do, they pick up a standing point in each of their last 7 games.
This is unbelievable! You got extra hockey on the last game of the year!
So we head to overtime. The 3 on the ice for Utah is going to be Danny Genev, Riley Connors, and Luke Salem. For Rapid City, it's going to be Ryan Wagner with Maurizio Colella and Chase Pauls. We know the final score is going to be 5-4. Don't know who's going to be the one that has 5 and who has 4. Connors will take the drives out there with Genev and Salem. Grizzlies will skate from left to right here in overtime. Everybody's on the edge of their seat or standing up. Connors crouches down, takes a draw against Colella. Face-off won by Utah. Genev gets it towards Salem. He's in the Grizzlies zone. Salem's behind Miska's net. Over to Connors. He'll drop it to Genev. 15 seconds in overtime, tied at 4. Grizzlies had 23 shots in the third period. Connors out to center ice. Steps over the offensive line, stops in the left point. Slides to Genev, new tries. Danny, the surefire rookie of the year. He's the right side, gets across to Connors. Connors dancing around. He'll skate towards the left point. Now he'll back it out to Grizzlies ice voluntarily. About 45 seconds into overtime, we're tied at 4. Connors towards the near corner. Now he accelerates, drops it back for Genev. Genev out to center ice. The Magician crosses center, steps over the offensive line. Now he gets towards the left wing. There's going to be an interference penalty on Utah, potentially either that or offside. Grizzlies are offside. There was a collision around the Rapid City line. Grizzlies are called for offside. And with that, both teams will switch up skaters. They play Rock and Roll Part 2, which was the Grizzlies' original goal song. Manning, Lepster, and Enns are the 3 on the ice for Utah. Quinn Olson, Hannes is on the ice. Remember, he took the puck to the face in the third period. He's out there. And it looks like Chizowski is out there for Rapid City as well. Draw one by Rapid City as Hannes will skate behind his net. He's got Lepster shadowing him. 5:55 left in overtime, tied at 4. Grizzlies have outshot the Rush 45-29. They'll have outshot opponents in 7 of their last 8 games. Olsen to the left wing, loses control of the puck. As Olsen, he'll chip it towards the left circle. Rapid City gets it towards Hannes. Hannes skates in. He fires towards the net, saved by Miska. Tchaikovsky throws the middle of the ice for Olsen. He'll feed to the right side. Hannes shot to score. Hannes wins it for Rapid City with 5:34 left in overtime, and the Rush win 5-4. But the Grizzlies put together a furious rally to come back and make it 4-4. As the train horn sounds, and Clay Hannes, who had the puck hit off his face, it's fitting that he's the one that gets the game winner as Miska sprawled towards his left to try to cut it off. So even though the final outcome isn't what Grizzlies fans wanted, they were certainly a bit of a treat there in the third period with the 3 unanswered goals, including 2 by Evan Friesen. The Grizzlies will be on the ice. They might take a couple laps around the ice as the Rapid City Rush will head to the locker room, having salvaged the third game of the series. But really, the day is kind of one of a lot of emotions as the Grizzlies will do some laps on the ice. It's a special team, a special organization. As the Grizzlies will thank everybody who attended, not only today, but attended over the last 31 years. Everybody's on the ice. It's emotional. There's some tears flowing. It's also a celebration. Forever in our hearts. That's what the sign says, and absolutely. And for some of us, we're absolutely scared to death, and we won't find an opportunity like this again. What a moment. Grizzlies are taking a couple laps around the ice to thank everybody. And the fans are thanking. Please go hard. It was fitting that they played Rock and Roll Part 2 before the final drop of the puck. That was the Grizzlies' original goal song. Grizzlies hang out at center ice surrounding Grisby. And now everybody, well, it just shows you the adversity the Grizzlies face. There's many, many Grizzlies players in suits who have been battling injuries. The Grizzlies had 60 players all year. Grizzlies wave their sticks in the air and celebrate just so many different things. Looks like there's going to be a photo at center ice as everybody in uniform as well as all those in suits, and Grisby as well. So they're going to take a photo, and a lot of fans are going to take some shots of the Grizzlies photo that's going to be at center ice. As John Buchanan over there, and boy, this team, even though it's not a club that's making the playoffs, they got a lot to be proud of. You know, for some people, it's starting to hit now. For others, it might not hit until October when you realize there's the next hockey season. That's when it's going to hit home more than any. There's no doubt there's not a dry eye in the house. What a scene here at Maverick Center. And it hits hardest for the people that have been here the longest. The four originals that were at the ceremonial puck drop. Joe Roberts, Randy Main, Jeff Vernier, Ekram. A lot of people are in tears walking up the tunnel. There's no doubt we're going to miss the Utah Grizzlies and everything they met and everything that they stood for. And really, I think they represent the underdog, the guys chasing their dreams. That's what it's all about. It's opportunities for all these players that eventually want to get to the National Hockey League. Fans with one final "Let's Go Grizzlies" chant. And Grizzlies are just kind of lingering at center ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been our privilege.
I bet Chris Hagan's going to break down as he mentions this. Yeah, he sure is. We had a moment ourselves before the game.
My name's Chris, and I want to say something very important. Grizzlies are not going away because of the Utah Mammoth. Don't believe that. But I'll tell you what, if there was no Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and if there was no Utah Grizzlies, there would be no Mammoth. Make some noise. You did this. You did this. You are the most amazing fans in the league.
I absolutely agree with the sentiment of Chris Hagan. Do not put any of this on the Mammoth and anything like that. It was definitely not. That was not. But it's as he mentioned. If there wasn't a Salt Lake Golden Eagles, and I keep referencing the championship of 1996, where fans here in the Salt Lake Valley broke a single game minor league attendance record. With that in mind, this is always a big-time hockey market. And the Grizzlies with another lap around the ice. And as you mentioned before, these guys represent the underdogs pursuing their dreams. That's what I'm doing here. And I am absolutely scared to death about the prospects the next 6 months, wondering whether I'm going to get a chance anywhere. Another victory lap for the Grizzlies. There's not a dry eye in the house, no question about it. Some people never cry. They're in tears. And here I was trying to hold it together. That's the good thing about the game and the 3 periods of play, including the overtime session. Hey, we just had a hockey game and a very entertaining one. And considering, even though overtime didn't go the Grizzlies' way, to have a 4-1 deficit, as everybody hugging Tyler Grant, the Grizzlies captain. He was a great team leader all year. But that really just showed the heart more than anything. Even in a game that looks like a 5-4 overtime loss in the box score, when you think about overcoming a 4-1 deficit, third game in less than 48 hours, the Grizzlies over and over again had many reasons to give up, and they just kept battling. And that's really when you think about it at the end of the day, that really the final 20 minutes of the third period, overcoming the 4-1 deficit, getting the 3 unanswered goals, 2 by Evan Friesen, he kind of bookmarked the comeback bid, scoring the second and fourth goals for Utah. Mikey Colella, who joined the club mid-season, scored on a sharp angle. Grizzlies coming away with a standing point based on the circumstances, and we always see it. Third game in 48 hours. A team that's down by that many, they don't really have much of a fight. They give what they can, but for the Grizzlies, they're all fatigued, having put together grade A efforts on both Friday and Saturday. That just shows the heart and character. I know it sounds cliche, but that just showed the kind of heart that this Grizzlies club possessed all season. As everybody going to congratulate and hug Tyler Gratton, and really it was too bad that Gratton was able to get the lower body injury and not finish out the season. At the time of his injury, he was second in the league in power play goals. Fans still walking up the aisles, and I don't think anybody wants to leave. I think there's going to be people that are going to be hanging around for a long time. Obviously, fans can paint the ice after the game, and there's going to be autographs being signed. And, for the Grizzlies, it's a special moment. We knew this day was going to come the entire year. It wasn't one where mid-season or at the end of the season, which was kind of the case with the Arizona Coyotes, where all of a sudden the end just kind of hits you out of nowhere. We had known since pretty much last summer that this was going to be the day, and this was going to be what it was. Originally, it looked like Saturday night, April 11th was going to be the final game, but with the player strike, that kind of adjusted the schedule a little bit. Had to fit in a game with Idaho on Tuesday, so that pushed everything back one day. And the Sunday afternoon was the final game. Last of a 3-game set. All the officials are over towards the Zamboni Tunnel. And John Buchanan, considering the circumstances, first year as a pro, he had spent 4 decades in coaching. I got to say, he did a pretty good job. The Grizzlies played hard for him all year. And Ryan Anderson, I think, did a pretty good job as assistant coach all season. Jack Skilly, director of skill development. I think it's one of the other sad things about what has happened here is that it doesn't need to end. You see the support here. You see the organization, which really with their affiliation with the Colorado Avalanche for the last 8 years. Obviously there's been some ups and downs in terms of the win-loss column, but at the end of the day, this is a team with a lot of heart, and it has, I would say, a pretty good, even all the way to the end. You're talking about a team that does things the right way, and one of the things I've enjoyed over the last 8 years is that the Grizzlies really do go out of their way to make sure they sign and bring in good character guys. And we've seen that for many years, dating all the way back to when Tim Branham was around. He was very selective in who he wanted on the team because he wanted to make sure he brought good guys in. And the same was the case with Ryan Kanasowicz, and that maintained. It was the same thing here this season with John Buchanan and Ryan Anderson as John Gillette and Mechanic talk things over. It looks like just about every Grizzly is now off the ice. There's not a dry eye in the locker room. Looks like Ryan Anderson sharing a few tears. Brooke Timoney, the athletic trainer, did an outstanding job. She actually was with the Birmingham Barons, the AA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox, before coming over to the Grizzlies. And for some people, it was certainly tough because they came into the organization knowing that it was going to be a temporary thing. It's just a lot of fans are continuing to hang out here, and nobody wants to see it. It's a celebration. It's really a lot of things. Part celebration, part funeral type atmosphere, all with a fun sport like hockey surrounding everything. As Chris Hagan had mentioned, we got a National Hockey League team in town, and obviously we're going to enjoy them. We're going to enjoy the heck out of them and their playoff run this year. And a lot of us, we're not Mammoth fans now. We're going to become Mammoth fans, through it all. But as he mentioned, the Salt Lake Golden Eagles did a great job providing a little bit of soul to the professional hockey scene for 2.5 decades. And then when the Golden Eagles left for Detroit, the Utah Grizzlies came into town as there was a need for pro hockey as well. As Jared Pike and Jordan Stone are here. Pike, an assistant coach for the Grizzlies for a year, and Jordan Stone played 3 different years in a Grizzlies uniform. When the Grizzlies came into town, it was the right place at the right time. Utah was in need of a pro hockey team. The NHL was in a little bit of a renaissance there in the 90s. And, they came into town and averaged about 7,500 fans per game. And it immediately took off here in the Salt Lake Valley. The Grizzlies came into town 2 months before the 95-96 season. And so it was a very quick transition to get the Grizzlies in. They played at Delta Center, won a championship their first year. They were really a perennial winner in 6 seasons in the IHL. They had 4 years in the American Hockey League. And it seemed like with the way hockey was, you had the lockouts, and so hockey wasn't necessarily in a great spot. Hockey wasn't, with the lockout missing the 04-05 season. Grizzlies joined this league, and really was kind of...
Mom, loving you. Have a good job.
Thank you. And, in the first few years, Jason Christie for 3 years, Kevin Colley for 5 years, Tim Branham for 8, Ryan Kanasowicz for 4 seasons, and John Buchanan this year. Grizzlies have had great leadership throughout the years. The off-ice officials have a combined 400 years of pro hockey experience. All the social media people are going out to center ice to take a photo. I don't think anybody ever wants this to end. And I think the unfortunate thing is that it really doesn't have to end. I do believe minor league hockey belongs here in the Salt Lake Valley, even with the presence of the Utah Mammoth. For one, there's such a demand for hockey that obviously not everybody can come to a Mammoth game. And then, quite frankly, not everybody can afford to go to a Mammoth game. And it's a really tough ticket to get. And ticket prices are going to be what they are because there's a demand for it. People are willing to pay a high price because of what the sport of hockey is, what going to a hockey game means, and really everything that surrounds it, the high speed, the hitting. It combines just about everything, teamwork, playmaking. And you come to a game and you feel the senses, the chill of the ice. You feel the roar of the crowd. There's all those sorts of things that make coming to a hockey game so special. And it really doesn't matter what level of hockey, whether it's the NHL, AHL, or ECHL. When you go to a game, you're going to have a great time. I also think that, obviously, if a minor league team is going to come back to town, it will be affiliated with the Utah Mammoth. And because of that, you're going to have a lot of people interested in the players, interested in the coaches, interested in seeing future Mammoth players. And, if it is the AHL, you're talking about one step closer to the National Hockey League. And so you've got interesting hockey storylines. You can see former Grizzlies if it is within the next couple years. And I know there's quite a few Grizzlies that have a bright future, whether it's Riley Connors, Evan Freese, and Danny Genev. You just go down the list, guys that are first or second year pros that I believe are going to have bright futures. I'm particularly interested in seeing what Danny Genev does in future years because he is just a playmaker, game in and game out. The highlights roll from Flow Sports if you're watching, and the game obviously matters and wanting to get a victory, but obviously this day is kind of a celebration of 31 years of Utah Grizzlies hockey here in the Salt Lake Valley. That penalty shot goal by Cameron Beal was a beauty. He's a former Grizzly. And then late in the first period, the Grizzlies, they had some chances. And Utah throughout the game had chances. They had 45 shots. And, that third period, if you want to go away, go out and, even if it's not a win in terms of getting 2 standings points, to put together the third period effort like they did. They were down 4-1. Heading into the period, they outshot Rapid City 23-5. Grizzlies had 12 scoring chances in the third period. Rapid City had 2. Grizzlies won the faceoff battle 18-9 in the third period. And it seemed like when the Grizz, it kind of started with a couple hardworking shifts by Riley Connors and company. Nicholas Nemo had some close calls today, and Reed Lepster, he was snake bit over the last dozen games, but Lepster was able to get it done in other ways. He had 5 assists in his last 4 games. And the Grizzlies just found a way to get a standing point on an afternoon where it looked like a standing point was just about impossible to get. As the Grizzlies finish out their final hunt with a record of 30, 32, 9, and 1. Rapid City still got 2 games left against Tahoe. Their record is now 28, 35, 6, and 1. Pictures are continuing to be taken. I know they're going to paint the ice after the game. I think some fans are hanging out for that as team's going to sign autographs. I think in the concourse. It's I don't know if it's going to be in the grand lobby or the concourse. Somewhere in the building, they're gonna sign autographs. Tears being shed by Nick Hayes, longtime Grizzlies fan, and that's a tough day for him. A really tough day for all of us, especially everybody that are regulars at Grizzlies games. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's opportunities. And I know that when I was looking for an opportunity when 1320 KFAN folded on February 27th of 2017, you sit there and you hope that you'll get 5 or 6 calls, 5 or 6 job offers. You hope that you could have your pick of places to go. Well, I had one, and that was the Utah Grizzlies. And, I did pregame, intermission, and postgame coverage for a year and a half, did some Grizzlies TV videos that were certainly great. There were a lot of great moments with Adrian Denny for a year and a half. And then in the summer of 2018, he went to the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners, advancing his career. And I was able to luckily slide in. And, it was interesting because, it was really work in progress. Learning one mistake at a time. It certainly didn't come easy to me. But eventually I was able to find it a little bit. For the first 5 years I was calling games, I couldn't even listen to myself. It was because I did try to keep a very high standard as to what kind of broadcast we wanted to have here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. And really over the last 3 years, things just started to click for me. And, it's been a pretty fun ride. There's way too many people to name. I saw Lance Ryrie earlier today. It was certainly great to see you, Lance. It's great to have Tim Broussard all these years. I know it's great. I'll be rooting on the Atlanta Gladiators in this league in particular with Guy Carenza, who was my right-hand man for the 2022-23 season. That was the year that saw just about everything. And for me personally, that was certainly a tough few months for me as I lost my mom and had some other things that were crazy going on as well. And then we had some odd stuff happening around us all season long. And Guy certainly learned a lot, and I was certainly happy to have him. And he's done a great job as the first-year broadcaster for the Atlanta Gladiators. You think about Charles Edward Dastu. If a lasting legacy, it could be Dastu, could be Trent Miner, Genev, some of the others that are going to be climbing up the ranks. And obviously for Dastu, having a great rookie year with the Tampa Bay Lightning. As fans are hanging around, they're going to paint the ice. I believe that's what everybody's here for, but everybody just kind of wants to linger around and kind of get their final memories of Utah Grizzlies hockey. As it's just, and we knew this day was going to be here, and it's certainly a tough one, but, it's certainly one that we're going to remember forever. And it's unfortunate to see it go, in part because it just doesn't it just, there's so many reasons why it should stay, and it just has meant so much to so many people that, at the end of the day, that's if you're talking about what the lasting legacy of Grizzlies hockey is, I mean, we kind of mentioned about 5 or 6 different things, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's first dates. It's married couples that came to dates at Grizzlies games, maybe first dates. And, this was a pretty good scene for first dates. No question about that. It's meant so much to so many people, and the Grizzlies for 3 decades just kept the spirit and flame of professional hockey alive and well in the Salt Lake Valley. This was the only spot where you can watch professional hockey in the state of Utah up until the spring of 2024. And I think part of the immediate success that the Mammoth had at the box office, when you saw the 30,000 season ticket deposits they had almost immediately, a big part of that was the fact that there was already a built-in hockey fan base that was alive and well. They just had an NHL team that kind of activate it and take it to the nth degree. But it was always here. And a big part of that was the Salt Lake Golden Eagles and the impact they had, and the Utah Grizzlies over 3 decades, the impact they had, and everybody that came to games and had great experiences, and they became hockey fans. And, I know for me, coming to games, I became a hockey fan just seeing just how unique seeing a hockey game live and in person is. I think my first game, I was probably sitting in section 113. The Grizzlies scored 8 or 9 goals against the Alaska Aces. I think they had about 3 or 4 power play goals that night, and Ryan Kanaswich might have had a hat trick that evening as well. And, so I'll never forget that one. And from game 1, when I came here to Maverick Center, I was hooked. And no doubt that it's been a ton of fun here over the last 8 years being the voice of the Utah Grizzlies. And I'm not going to start crying again because I really don't know what I'm going to be doing next. I know I've been asked that about 30 million times. And, just like the players and coaches pursuing their dreams, I'm pursuing my dream. And I mention it at the end of every broadcast. I'm hoping to get to the National Hockey League. That's where I want to be. Whether it's the NHL, AHL, whether it's Holiday Oil gas station, maybe working at a Maverick selling hot dogs and checking IDs for cigarettes. I have no clue what I'm going to be doing. And I know it's going to be a lot of sleepless nights over the last 5 months, because it's been a lot of sleepless nights over the last 5 months. Not sure what I'm going to be doing, and I'm hoping that my dream can come true and I can get to the National Hockey League. And it would certainly be a thrill. And I know if I do get there, that a big reason as to why would be with my experience here with the Utah Grizzlies over the last 8 years as the voice, and year and a half before that. So probably 9.5 seasons I had spent with the Utah Grizzlies, and no better place to be or to try to learn how to call hockey games. And we've had so many great memories. Tim Broussard's still hanging out high atop section 114. We got a lot of people here. They're just hanging around. Some just want to kind of take in the final sights. I think there's other people who are going to paint the ice once the Zamboni has done its job. It's one of those, we just don't want to see it end, but we know that eventually it's here. And we know we want to thank thousands of people that have helped. And we certainly want to thank everybody who's been tuning into Grizzlies hockey for the many, many years. I'm part of a pretty good group. I followed Adrian Denny, and Adrian, I think, followed Bob Hoffman. There was a video message from Ian Furness, who works for the Seattle Kraken, works in Seattle Sports Talk. He was the voice of the Grizzlies for a few years. There's a few others during the IHL era, and it's certainly an interesting one. I know Ian Furness, Adrian Denny are in the NHL, and hopefully someday I can get there as well. Some fans are starting to head towards the concourse, but nevertheless, everybody's just kind of lingering around here, and we had an outstanding crowd of over 7,100 here on a Sunday afternoon, with it being a Masters Sunday. So there's a lot of options out there, and everybody that chose the Grizzlies here this evening in their final hunt against the Rapid City Rush, we thank everybody. We know we had a big audience on Flow Sports and a big audience on YouTube, maybe our biggest YouTube audience of the season. For the last, I'd say, 4 years, YouTube was, I guess, the quote radio home of Grizzlies hockey, and certainly been unique, obviously, with the camera being there. And but we certainly have had a lot of fun over the last 4 years on YouTube, and obviously with Flow Sports being the exclusive streaming provider of the league. Well, we'll just about wrap things up. Chris Hagan hanging out top section 114. Great to have Chris here this weekend. Great to have Mark Larson hanging out with us. He was a public address announcer for the last 2 years. all we can say is thanks for everything that you have meant to Grizzlies hockey, to everybody that listened. It certainly had been an honor over the last 8 years. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, the Rapid City Rush gets a 5-4 victory over the Utah Grizzlies. I'm Tyson Whiting. I'm pursuing my dream. That's to get to the National Hockey League. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.